What's going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 282. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
What's up, people? How's it going?
Adam Vale.
What's up, everybody? What's up?
Carlos Romero.
Yo, yo.
Brett Murdoch.
Da, 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 da.
And Brian Manjoma.
I'm so confused that we live in 2020 and yet we still need to tell people to wash their hands and not drink bleach.
Oh, man. Yeah,
We call that progress here, Brian.
Yeah, Brian, we missed you, man. Were you off saving the Queen again or something last time?
Oh, no, just late night drinking. That's all.
Hey, you know, that's what we do during the Rona now, right?
Late night drinking while practicing social distancing.
Yes. Yeah. By the way, no Chris action tonight. He is off doing Chris things, you know. So none of his insider knowledge. But I don't think we have any numbers tonight anyway. But still, you know.
He's misunderstood the idea of social distancing.
Yeah, he didn't understand. He didn't understand.
Chris is busy like having like equations and stuff like reflecting into his glasses.
Yes. Oh man. I forgot who it was, but one of the fans referred to him as the smart one. I was like, oh, yeah, he is. You know, he's a resident Throwdown professor. You know.
I mean, the guy was pre-med, and he's got a computer science degree. Might be a little smart.
Yeah, might be. You know. Well, that's why whenever like we get to like the super heady stuff with numbers, I'm like, yo, Chris, take over, son. I don't know that shit. You know.
And I'm an idiot artist.
Yeah. Well, that's the
Right
thing.
there with you, Manny.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a writer, so I have no knowledge of numbers and how these things work. So I'm not. Yeah.
My only question is, does it have three zeros or two?
Yeah, that's it. You know, how many zeros in that check, baby? You know. All right, man. Hope everybody's doing well out there on the Throwdown streets, where we got a good number of you in the chat right now. Let me give a quick shout out to who is there right now. We got who's this fucking guy? Eurocar. I don't know him. We got Jace, we got Isaac hanging out in there. I think the numbers are Barry Burton obviously holding it down. You know, shout out to everybody, and there will be more of you, man. Anyway, we got a packed show. We got a packed show, but I still got some stuff to tell you about. So, got some Streets of Rage 4 podcasts to tell you about. First one is the ARG podcast, episode 205. Chris and I were on that with David Giltonen, and we were just talking about Streets of Rage, the franchise. We recorded that before Streets of Rage 4 dropped, so we couldn't talk about the game, but it was a really good kind of retrospective-y type of podcast. It's a lot of fun. And, of course, there's also Gamertag Radio that I did with Danny Pena, where we did talk extensively about Streets of Rage 4. This was a point where he hadn't played it yet, but I had played it, so he just asked me a bunch of questions. Another good one. And if you stick around till the end of the show, which I know you guys will, Adam and I will tell you our hands-on impressions of the game, man.
And I'm playing it now.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you know what? Let me go to Adam. For you guys, I don't know how well you guys can see it if you're watching us on Twitch or on YouTube, but Adam is actually playing Streets of Rage 4 at the moment, which, he had to do a crazy-ass setup just to get it running on his arcade there.
Yeah, you can see it running on his right side.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, anyway, we got a lot of shit to cover tonight. What's up, Manny? What's up?
Speaking of Streets of Rage, if you ever noticed our little scrolling city,
yes,
that's where I sort of based that off of.
Yeah. If you guys were watching, you see it right there under us. Only thing is I think I talked to you about this. We may need to update that city because it's Los Angeles. Most of us are from New York. We gotta do it right.
It was done originally. It was originally created for the E3 presentation.
Mm-hmm.
But, I gotta just make up a new sprite city and redo the scrolling.
We gotta have the Statue of Liberty in there.
Like the fucking what's the thing?
Like in Final Fight.
Like Tyson Punch Out.
Yeah. Yo, that'd be crazy.
In Brooklyn.
Yes, man. That'd be awesome, though. All right, man. So let's get into it. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is that The Last of Us 2 and Ghosts of Tsushima have got new release dates. And before you guys ask, no, we're not going to be talking about the leaks. We already addressed that on Throwdown Your Questions 281. And our stance is, we ain't talking about it. Simple as that. Just watch out. And I will say this, though. If you have certain terms blocked on Twitter or muted, they may not help you because images have popped up. You know, that's just be careful there. Anyway, so the new, and by the way, this is kind of interesting. There's a little bit of conspiracy theory going on with this, which I kind of subscribe to. Basically, the leaks happen on Sunday, right? And then on Monday, we get the actual release date. Because remember, up to this point, Last of Us was like, suspended indefinitely or whatever. So it's kind of the timing is kind of interesting. I think they probably did have this release date set, but they were probably like, yo, the leaks are coming out. We better divert people's attentions or whatever. So they threw this shit up there. That's what I think.
In the release date like a month away?
This is how it's 2 months away. But Brett, here's the thing. Here's what I find interesting, right? Because they said it was like, it was not canceled, but it was like postponed indefinitely. But the new date is only 3 weeks later. So I'm like, how do you go from indefinite to just 3 weeks? You know what I'm saying?
And by the way, just to be fair, it's 1.5 months away.
Yeah, 1.5 months. Yeah, so it's
Only
like
met the boss.
Okay.
Like you did.
So I just want to ask. So
yes,
I want to make sure you were saying that they knew the release date was less than 2 months away, but didn't want to tell the consumers.
I didn't think about it that way. That does sound pretty horrible, doesn't it? But here's the thing. I didn't think about it like that. I was thinking about it from the other angle.
I mean, come on, like,
yeah,
the Fallout's release, like that was a shock, release and date. Like, you got to give your consumer base more than 2 months notice, unless your hand is pushed.
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like, there's really. See, there's a big part of me that wants to be like, they just announced the release date now, pushed it up because they didn't want people to, the fucking leaks to get out of hand. But this also happened with Ghosts of Tsushima, so I'm like, what's really going on here?
Yeah, and for Ghost, they never said that they delayed it.
No, by the way, the reason Ghost was delayed, right? They didn't say this, but I think we could definitely say the reason Ghost was delayed because it had to get delayed so The Last of Us doesn't overtake it. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, Ghost of Tsushima was originally supposed to come out June 26th, right? Last of Us is not coming out June 19th. We couldn't have the games come out back to back like that, so they're like, all right, Ghost, boop, you get pushed to the back. Which is kind of fucked up if you think about it. For people who think about it, there's probably a bunch of people, even people in this chat right here, who are more excited for the Ghost of Tsushima than they were Last of Us. So it sucks that game kind of has to suffer, because of that. But since Last of Us is Sony's quote unquote premier game, I guess Sony's just doing everything it can to spotlight it badly, obviously, but that's just how it is. Anyway, what are you guys' thoughts on the new release dates?
Yeah, I just find it interesting that it's.
No, go ahead, Carlos. No, Carlos, go ahead, bro. You're already talking.
Yeah, I find it interesting that they announced, and you guys mentioned it. They announced it a day after the whole shitstorm, and it's like, is this? I mean, to me it is, but is this damage control? Are they
That's
saying?
What I'm asking, bro.
Hey, let's shut up some mouths and get people talking about this, because everyone right now is talking about all the fucking leaks. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. They what Brett mentioned is it's definitely on point. It's like, yeah, we're gonna delay this thing for 3 months when we told them that it was delayed indefinitely, and they said that they're almost pretty much done with the game.
Yeah,
and they were blaming it on the fucking Rona.
Yeah.
So it's like you need 2 weeks to establish what the hell you're gonna do with everything, and it's like. And the timing is just so fucking weird, and I'm just kind of baffled. Everything that Sony has been trying to do is just off base, and it's just confusing to me. It's like, this is the fucking biggest game that they'll release, maybe the generation, first party wise. Yeah. So I'm just surprised how badly everything has been going.
And there's
a theory.
Yeah, go ahead, Ben.
I think that the game was pretty much done, but okay, when a movie is just about done, and then it hits, no man's land and just kind of slogs out, it's generally because something is not right with the editing or the story. They want to shoot additional scenes, or they want to kind of go this way. They want to do some tailoring to it. And I imagine The Last of Us is kind of the same way. What are you going to go in and change the mechanics? That's just balancing. That's just patches afterwards. Why would you delay it, if not for the reasons you said? And honestly, my crazy tinfoil hat theory is they took a look at the game and this is including some of the leaks. And so I know you guys haven't read
Oh
the
no
leaks.
no.
No, I'm not saying the leaks. No. I'm not saying the leaks. I'm
You
just saying.
said this includes the leaks.
Yeah, you did. You said it.
Yeah,
You just said
which
it,
is why,
literally.
Yeah,
As long as he doesn't say the leaks, it's fine.
I'm
Because,
just referencing to the
yeah,
leaks.
the leaks exist, guys. Yeah.
What-
Brett,
just
let
let me
Brett
finish.
finish. Let him finish. Go ahead, Brett.
I'm a professional. Let
Yeah,
me finish.
go ahead, brother. Yeah.
I think they were considering a rewrite. I think that they were considering parts of the story that they may want to change, or parts of character they may want to change, or different levels or things like that. Fuck, they could. I mean, they could have been deciding whether or not they want to, tack on a multiplayer. But I think it was just editing. I think they were probably trying to decide: is this what we want to do with this? Is this what we want to do with this? And honestly, not sure. And then the leaks start coming out. People start clamoring, and people are getting mad. And they're like, "Fuck it, just push it out the door. It's fine." Like that's my tinfoil hat theory.
All right, I want to jump in and say that tinfoil hat theory is actually one that's actually kind of popular right now. That basically the belief is, just to expand on what you said, the belief is that something went really bad behind the scenes, story wise, that needed to change. And apparently, and this is part of the conspiracy theory or rumors, whatever you want to call them, that a lot of the employees at Naughty Dog that worked on the game were not happy with whatever the direction was. And so there's some shit going on, and they try to change it or whatever. It's last minute shit. So you're not really alone in that thinking. A lot of other people believe that. And again, the reason we have to even consider this stuff is because Sony's just being so tight-lipped about shit, not telling us what the hell's going on behind the scenes. Well,
no, there's more than that. We have caught them in untruths, and whether or not you want to say that that's them blatantly lying to us or not, like, the things that they have said do not match up. The reasons that they said the delay was happening do not match up with the release date they're doing now. The information isn't seamless. Something about what Naughty Dog / Sony is telling us is at the very least misleading, if not blatantly untrue. And that's the problem. This is like if your girlfriend comes home and tells you a story about how she was out drinking in a highly suspicious way. And I'm not saying I'm jealous type, but like if you come back, she says highly suspicious things, none of her timelines add up. One time she tells the story of friends there, another time she tells the story of friends not there. You start to get fucking suspicious. And this is no different. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but I'm saying I don't feel like they're being straight with us, man.
Yeah, no,
that's definitely the case.
Oh no, I agree with that, because I'm like, how do you go from indefinite like postponement to, hey, it's coming out 3 weeks later than we originally said? It's like, wait, how do you go from indefinite to 3 weeks? That doesn't gel with me. You know what I'm saying? That's odd. So I understand where you're coming from. But the thing, like, I don't want to say they're lying, but at the same time, I'm kind of getting evidence that they're lying. You know what I'm saying? So like, I
don't want to say they're lying. I'm just pretty sure they're not telling us the truth.
I don't think it's the whole like filming new scenes or whatever, because it was in the middle of the whole Rona thing. So it's like they're not going to fly people into, like, it takes a whole production crew to get these things to set up. They need to write new. Yeah, well, they need to write new things. They need to film it. It's like, yeah, if maybe if it was like definitely indefinite, but indefinite.
No,
but
if this gave it another 6 to 8 months, you don't think that would happen?
6 during this time? No.
Well, yeah, indefinitely. Indefinitely in this situation means after the virus is broken, we're going to go back. We're going to do a little bit of work on it. We don't know when the virus is going to be over, so we don't know when we're going to go back. Like, logistical issues like shipping, you can kind of figure out. Having to do creative work on the back end of a quarantine, there is no way to timeline that.
No, I think it had to do with the retailers. I think that's the biggest reason why this was delayed, because the whole thing they closed? This was like, yeah, the retailers were closed, and they would be pissed off because they wouldn't make any money off sales of the games because all of them would be digitally.
They never closed. Walmart, Target, fucking GameStop, none of them ever closed.
GameStop closed.
No, they were categorized as an essential business, weren't they?
No, they tried.
No, they tried, but they shut that shit down.
They don't have that Vince McMahon money to do that.
Yeah, they
Best
tried.
Best Buy was
tried.
Closed.
Yeah.
Walmart is open because they sell food.
Best Buy here is open.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's a state.
It's a regional thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
but like, I don't think a lot of the big box retailers didn't close.
Yeah, Best Buy opens tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow is the first day Best Buy opens in a while.
I know that Target was able to become an essential business, so you could go to Target and get stuff.
Yeah. and they also had the whole shipping issues, and they're like maybe they can't, distribute the physical copies with fast enough. So and it was all, and like you mentioned, it was still weeks away, maybe a couple of months away, because this was a May release originally, and they announced this last month. So I don't know.
Something don't seem right here. That's all I got to say about that.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Since they announced it the delay a little while ago, right? And the delay was indefinite. That portrays a large window.
Yes.
What takes that amount of time? Are you telling me it was a logistics thing? Are you telling me it was a coronavirus thing? Or
I think it's
because they claim it was because of the coronavirus. That's what they claim.
I know, but you don't need that much time. Like, nobody else is taking that approach, and like it is just such a weird thing.
I think it's it's like what somebody else said before. It has to do with the retailers, kind of like the way AMC is blocking all Universal movies right now, because if Sony was just to go and jump the gun and throw the game out there, it'd cause all these big issues.
But they just did.
I'm thinking they say that they probably threw the indefinite out there because they didn't know if they could come up with a deal that would make the retailers happy. So I don't know, but then again, that's speculation.
Yeah, and if they're refilming scenes, I'm pretty sure like someone's agent will fucking leak shit, or I don't know. People would know if some of the actors would just like. Oh God!
I just had a thought right now. Do you think they just said indefinite just to cover their ass?
I think so. I think they just said indefinite because there's probably a lot more ducks they needed to get in a row before they can actually do the date. But that doesn't hide the fact that it doesn't seem very coincidental that the minute that all this stuff starts leaking all over the internet, they'll go, "Oh hey, we got a date."
Yeah.
To Carlos, you say, wouldn't that make somebody inside mad? We get all kinds of leaks. Like, yeah, that's why we just got a whole bunch of leaks.
Yeah, that's the other theory that's going on. We talked about that on Sunday, how it but one of the theories is that it's a disgruntled employee that did this. Another theory suggests there was a hack. We don't really know what happened.
I'm weirdly seeing.
Wait, hold on, man. Hold on, Brett. You're seeing what?
The only thread that actually lines up and makes sense across all of these things is that there was a disgruntled employee who was not happy with the changes or with the current state of the game. And there were probably a lot of them that were happy with the current state of the game. So they recalled it, pulled it back in development, said we're going to go back and fix some of this stuff. And then the bigwigs came down and says, nope, we're releasing it as is. And a disgruntled employee releases a leak.
Possibly.
That's the only story that makes sense to me.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to disagree with that.
If I were a detective, that's where I'd be leading. I'm not saying that's the absolute truth.
That
take my word as gospel. I have been wrong before.
Yeah, that was my initial gut reaction to like this employee. Manny, you were about to say something. Then Carlos, you could go after that.
That's okay. I forgot what was.
All right, Carlos, go ahead.
It was in the moment.
All right.
Well, then there's also like the whole there's this huge narrative on Naughty Dog and crunching and people like saying that they have bad work habits in that workplace. So I don't know if that could also be another thing. But wouldn't it make sense? They delayed the game indefinitely. The leaks came out, and then they announced and then apparently a lot of people didn't like whatever they saw. And wouldn't they just, if your theory is right, wouldn't they change it? If that's what they were going to do in the first place, so why wouldn't they just do it?
Because it would be a huge. Okay, so I can't. Spoilers touch on some.
Careful here, Brett.
Okay, I rescind my question.
Actually, you know what, Brett? Don't. I know where you're going. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You were actually about to say something that could potentially, not even it's not a direct spoiler, just give you a hint of what may be going on. Let's steer clear.
Just said touchy subjects, man. That's all I was gonna say.
All right, okay, just fair. Yeah, obviously we know that. We've seen the trailers. Okay, that's fair for you to say that. Yeah, I'm just trying to be careful. I don't want people cutting their fucking heads off tonight.
No, I was
touchy
just saying,
subjects. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Right?
That's fair. Yeah.
I totally forgot what to say before that, though.
Let's move on. Anyway, so that's what's going on right now. So July. Let me just get this right. So June, what's it? Yeah, June.
Yeah, June 19th.
June 19th is Last of Us. Go ahead, Brett. Say it now before you forget.
Okay. Because it touches on some touchy subjects, if you kept it indefinitely in release right now and changed anything, you would be pissing people off. The leaks essentially lock in the way that the game had to be. Because now that it's out there, if you change it, you're also going to piss off some other people.
Interesting.
So it's a case of damned if you
Everyone's
do, damned
pissed
if you
off
don't.
right now.
Yeah.
Like, I think everyone's pissed off.
Everybody's mad. Yeah, you're right about that. Damn it, I forgot a point I was going to make about that. Oh, well. Anyway, June 19th is the new date for The Last of Us 2. The new date for Ghosts of Tsushima is July 17th. Again, just to get off Last of Us a little bit, does suck for the people looking forward to Ghosts of Tsushima. You know that.
I'm one of them.
Yeah,
Pisses
and
me off. But
yeah,
real
and
quick,
Brett, I'm gonna fuck you up with something right now. Think about it. You know that wasn't Sucker Punch's decision to do that shit. It was Sony going.
No.
Nope, your game's going back.
Yeah, no, it's clearly favorites. That's fine. That's fine. I get it. I get who's the moneymaker. I see how it is. I just want to keep a tally. Is everybody here still excited for this game?
I still want to play it. I was never excited to begin with. I just want to play it. I want to see, I want to see the follow up, see what they do with it.
I said I was more hype about Cyberpunk.
Yeah, but I've never been like, oh my god. I've said this before on the show. I'm like, I like The Last of Us, but I'm not a mega fan because it's the game's too fucking depressing. I can't play that shit more than once. I'm just being real,
There are a few mega fans, but I think most of the people, like honestly, most of the people that I know that are going to purchase this game, anecdotally, like 70% of them aren't really sold on the game. They just are. They're like, I played the last one. I'm gonna I know I'm eventually gonna get it. It's Naughty Dog's new game. I mean, I guess I'm in. Nobody's really enthusiastic about it. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean,
What?
Yeah.
A lot of people are.
Yeah, no. Again, Brett's talking about his circle of people and us on the show. Let's just be honest. On the show, we're gonna play. We're curious to play it, but we're not super excited. But outside of that, Brett, I can tell you right now, people are insanely excited.
No, I told you, they do have mega fans.
Yeah, they do.
Absolutely do. Yeah. But I feel like the majority are more dubious. The mega fans are the loud minority at this point. I think there's a lot of people who are like, we'll see how this goes. It could be good.
Yeah, I've always maintained
one of their big games, so I'm going to buy it. I mean, the exact reason that we're all probably going to buy it. Like,
yeah,
I'm not buying it.
Yeah, Manny said he's not even caring.
I'm not buying it. I was good where the original one ended, and I don't need to go back to that world ever again.
Yep. By the way, that was actually the point I was going to make. I was happy with the first one as a standalone. Again, I'll play it, but I was not. Again, I'm being consistent here. If you guys have listened to all the, you know what I'm saying, ever since this game was announced, I'm like, all right, I'll play it. Cool, whatever.
Just for me, the world of The Last of Us is not a world that I really want to go back to.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a hopeless, horrible world. Everything's destroyed. What, are we gonna still do the same thing? The world is bad. Everybody's fucked up again. I'm done.
Yeah, and they don't even have any Cthulhu monsters, man.
Yeah, it's not gonna get. It's not like it's gonna get any deeper. Like the fucking, the cordyceps are some sort of intergalactic alien,
interdimensional aliens and shit.
Yeah, it's not gonna be that. It's gonna be the same old thing. It's gonna be like, hey, there's a bunch of fucked up people who want to steal your shit, and then there's a bunch of there's a force of nature, cordyceps, zombies.
Yeah, it's zombies. Let's be real.
Thing.
All right,
but I'm sure that there's a lot of people that are very really want to go back to that world, and I'm not going to take that away from them.
Yeah, of course, man. All right, let's move on, man. We got more shit to talk about. All right, so today the big thing that happened. Actually, we got to go back a little bit. So yesterday, Ubisoft started revealing the new Assassin's Creed game, but they did it in a very interesting way. They had this artist called Boss Logic. I don't know this guy, but apparently he's like a really, really big dude. So he did an 8-hour stream of him doing concept art for the new Assassin's Creed game, and it turns out that by the end of it, the new game is going to be called Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Right, takes place in Viking times. And today, Thursday, at the time of this recording, they released a trailer, and just like every other Assassin's Creed game first trailer, all CG, and it basically shows a bunch of but you know how it is, Adam. Since the beginning, it's been like that. With Assassin's Creed.
Because I remember.
Yeah, remember the first one? No, even two.
The second one, no, because I remember it was that bloody one. Remember, it had oh man, what was it? It was this famous group that I know, and their song was playing, and you see them doing all the dodging and the parry system. And we're like, oh, is this gameplay? And we're like, yeah, it's gameplay.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about, but the first trailer was CG. They all are for Assassin's Creed, and this one is no different. So you basically saw a bunch of Vikings, which the main protagonist is a Viking assassin or whatever, and they're fighting against the English. So it's going to be in that era. So no gameplay, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Anyway, would you guys think? If for those who saw it, I saw it. I'm like, all right, that's cool. It's a CG trailer. Let's see the game.
You wish it had Blind Guardian playing.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. Yeah, Valhalla. Or Amon or Moth. Perfect right there.
There you go.
Viking metal.
I want to see gameplay. That's my.
Don't worry, Adam. We'll talk about it. We will talk about that. All right, Brett. I heard you sighing over there, bro.
No, I mean it wasn't a sigh. I was like, dude, all you really needed to say was Assassin's Creed Vikings.
You're already sold.
Dude, what's the worst it's going to be? Assassin's Creed with Vikings? It's going to be Odyssey with Vikings? Although I have heard them talk about a really interesting new system where they fix something that has been bothering the fuck out of me since the inception of the Assassin's Creed games. The whole giant world, explore, shallow, you leave and you have no reason to ever fucking go back unless you missed a quest. It's not a dynamic changing world. They're really focusing on a Viking settlement that is your Viking settlement. So you'll go out, do campaign missions, and then come back to your settlement. Then you'll go do other stuff and come back to your settlement. And they're structuring the whole game around the idea of having the settlement kind of be your hub.
Like Red Dead?
You kind of get it up. Yeah, kind of like Red Dead and the camp. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to touch on that. Oh, go ahead, Brett. Finish up. I want to touch on that real quick. The settlement.
Oh, I was just gonna say, because I absolutely love the ship mechanics. I love Odyssey. I love going to places. But yeah, at a certain point, it gets so big that you're just constantly just wandering around this big open world. There's no roots. There's no thing tying you together. So I'm personally really excited about the idea of an evolving settlement, and a place that instead of Jesus Christ, like every other game, moving from the bottom left part of the map slowly up to the bottom right part of the map. This actually seems like something a little bit of a different approach, and I applaud them. So different approach, a little bit of innovation. Assassin's Creed, Vikings, fuck yeah, I'm in. I don't need to see it. I don't need to see gameplay. I know it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Whoa, Valhalla.
Yeah. One thing that's interesting about the trailer, I kind of liked. I guess they're trying to show Vikings in a different light. Basically, the narration has whoever, I guess the King of England or whatever, saying, they are godless heathens, and that's over Vikings worshiping a statue of Odin, right? And then he's like, they kill without mercy, and then you see a bunch of Vikings raiding a village or whatever. There's a daughter and a mother and shit. They're about to kill him, and then the main dude shows up oh, don't kill him. And then he's like, they do not create, they destroy. And then you see the Vikings making a settlement. I'm like, okay, so that's kind of cool how they're contrasting all that shit.
Yeah, they're showing more historical. Here's the funny thing, nobody ever makes England the bad guy. Historically, sorry, Brian, England was always the bad guy.
Well, it's still the bad guy according to the Irish.
Actually, but here's the thing, though.
According to the Irish and this guy who is of Irish descent, yeah, they're the fucking bad guy. They went around the world doing dick shit and claiming other people's stuff.
Yeah,
I mean
That's it.
Congratulations!
Jamaica.
Somebody's actually showing. Yeah.
Well, here's just to be fair though,
India.
in the Assassin's Creed games where England does show up, aside from whatchamacallit, Syndicate, they're portrayed as the bad guys. So Brett, they do have a precedent for that in the series.
Some, yes,
yeah.
some, but mostly no.
It's the Templars, though. You know how it is in this series.
Yeah,
it's the Templars.
It's been Rome. It's been the Catholic Church. It's very rarely do you see almost all the kings of England did horrible shit trying to genocide a people, things worthy of being looking at me oh, that's kind of fucked up and maybe worth a footnote in history. There's so much actual history there of them being the bad guy that you can just I don't know, close your eyes, throw a dart at a wall, and you'll find something that you can make an Assassin's Creed game out of.
Yeah. So I think it's
Brian,
cool.
You're allowed 30 seconds for a rebuttal.
What do you want me to say? I don't know.
That's how you people roll.
Here's the thing, though. Brian is not,
Yeah, so it's not. It's
Brian's English, but you're not English. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
What? It's just I'm not American.
Brian, you're allowed 30 seconds to
I'm not dissing him. It's the truth.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, it's the truth. He wasn't born in England. He was born in fucking Africa. You know?
Whoa.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys? I'm speaking the
Just
truth
playing
over
with the
here.
balls.
The only one not getting pissed off is Brian.
He's kicking tables. You just
know?
don't.
He's doing it elegantly though, right? Like,
Yeah, he's like, so my girlfriend told me to stop fucking around with these Americans, and they talk shit.
yo, to Brian, he's like, yo, English, Vikings, it's all white people to me. Right, Brian?
Oh yeah. Okay, back to the topic at hand. Before some people get really upset, not us, obviously. I think it's pretty cool. You know, again, it's kind of what we had wanted. Because judging by what people say, it seems like they always wanted an AC game in feudal Japan area, roughly. And then after that was kind of like the Vikings, the Norse mythology type stuff. So we're kind of slowly getting there. Maybe the next one will be the one that we all wanted.
Hey,
The
Brian.
actual Assassin's Creed game.
Hey, Brian. You want to play Assassin's Creed? Japan.
You know what I mean, Tony. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah. You know, I'm just saying, if you want to play a game like that, there's some called Ghosts of Tsushima coming out this summer. You know?
Oh, I thought you were talking about AC.
Oh, China? Oh,
Chronicles?
fuck that shit. I'm talking about like
Okay.
actual like open world game. Like it's not Assassin's Creed, obviously, but I'm like, yo, that's kind of close. That's what people want. The Ghost of Tsushima. That's
Yeah.
what people want Assassin's Creed Japan to be. You know? Ooh, Brian, yo, how about this for a title? Assassin's Creed Bushido.
Ooh.
That'd be crazy. Ubisoft, I'll give you that shit for free, man. Go ahead, take it.
Yo, man, Assassin's Creed Edo.
You know, oh man, I'm telling you right now, like that, I consider that like Assassin's Creed, Bushido. That's the break glass in case of emergency and shit. We was like, oh fuck, no one's buying these games anymore. Do it.
Oh, it's the Final Fantasy VII of theirs.
Yes, By the way, it's funny you mentioned that because that's exactly what the producer of Final Fantasy VII said. It's like, oh yeah, that's our break glass in case of emergency game. Man, I guess they did it. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, man.
I have a question.
Why is it that bums? Man, fuck that.
Yo, man, I haven't played the last two games. So, are the last two games? I haven't really heard other than some stuff that you guys talk about during the show. It's like, have the last two games been the top of the line of the game?
Yes.
Like, for me, they've always it's always been Assassin's Creed 2 and then Brotherhood.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. Assassin's Creed 2 has not been topped yet. That's still the pinnacle.
Oh, whoa! You shut your whore mouth.
Damn, like that,
Flag.
Brett.
Black Flag.
No,
Black Flag, yo.
Black Flag.
Hands down, the best.
I disagree with that, but that's the second best. That game's fucking amazing.
That's the last game.
But
That's the last
No, you're just judging it. You're just judging it more harshly because it's not actually 3 games.
But I'm not judging it harshly at all.
Well, no, you're
He's amazing. I just literally said Black Flag is amazing.
It's 3 games versus 1 game. You're holding an entire trilogy.
No, I'm not.
against
I said 2. I didn't say Brotherhood. I didn't say Revelation. I said 2.
Oh,
specifically
2 number 1. That's God. That's so fucking confusing.
I said it's no. What is it? I said Assassin's Creed 2. That's it. I didn't say.
I'm saying it's fucking confusing to Ubisoft. Your naming scheme when you hit 2 just got all fucked up, and to this day it's still like, which number 2? Nobody should have to ask that question.
There is
But there is no other number 2. There's just okay. If you're talking about the trilogy, you're talking about Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Revelations. There's only one Assassin's Creed 2. Understand?
So they weren't. Okay, all right.
Yeah, they weren't
They were all
subtitles.
Assassin's Creed 2 in my mind.
Fair enough, but there's only, just to be technical here, there's only one Assassin's Creed 2. That's it.
You know what? You may be right technically, and technical is the best kind of right.
Yes, there you go. But yeah, I'm not taking anything away from Black Flag. Black Flag was that injection the series needed, just like Origins and to an extent Odyssey was. Like, Carlos, to answer your question, Origins, Odyssey, fucking amazing. They're great. Check them out. Yeah, they're fantastic.
So it's safe to say Valhalla will at least be like their type of quality.
Yeah, if it's on that level, it's gonna be fucking awesome, bro.
Dude, Valhalla, I don't know why, but I'm telling you right now.
Wait, hold on, Brett. Finish your thought, and then Adam, you could jump in.
I'm gonna tell you now, and not having seen it all, I feel like, and I'm gonna eat so much crow for this. It's probably gonna be the next Black Flag. This will be the next high water hallmark.
Oh, with the ships.
I'm going to say this right now. It's funny you said that because I said the same thing, but just in a different way. Okay, what does this game have in common with Black Flag? It is going to be a new Assassin's Creed game that's kind of taking the series in a different direction. That's going to be cross-gen. It's going to be both on current gen and next gen, which is so it is Black Flag in that sense, which is pretty cool. So think about it like this, for those who get a PlayStation 5 this fall, you're going to be playing this game.
I thought Brett kind of was making the correlation toward the pirate kind of ship thing.
Well, what are Vikings? Let's just be real.
They're Nordic pirates.
Yeah, they're Nordic pirates.
But I also mean, like, in a sense, like they're doing this village mechanic where they're introducing new mechanics. The way Black Flag introduced the ship mechanics, they're taking that and introducing a new mechanic. And also the time between Assassin's Creed games, like it's been a minute. They've had enough time to rest, gather their strength again, put their big talent back on one game, like they used to when they made great Assassin's Creed games. They're doing all the things in development, and the timeline matches up with. I haven't seen an Assassin's Creed game they've worked on this long since Black Flag.
Yeah. By the way, I do need to do this because I know somebody's going to get on our ass. Technically, Assassin's Creed 3 introduced the ship mechanics. Just got to get that out there because somebody's
that's true. That's true.
You guys are wrong.
No, it's just the rest of the game. That game was so much garbage. I forgot about it.
Yeah. I don't blame you. Go ahead, man.
So I have a very important question right now.
Uh-oh.
Where's Skull and Bones?
Yo,
man, it sounds like they tossed out an Assassin's Creed to hide the fact that Skull and Bones is dead in the water.
Excuse me?
But tis.
Oh,
I told you guys for the fucking gig. I was like, this is a multiplayer of a mechanic that's like 70 years old. Like, is this the entirety of the game? Like, this thing is gonna fail. This is terrible. It's worse than Sea of Thieves.
Oh shit. All right, man. Let's move on. And this is topics related. So
but didn't
what's up, Adam? What's up, brother?
But still linked to the Assassin's Creed because they made a whole big thing saying that something with they have a partnership with Microsoft where
Adam's jumping the gun right now, man.
No, it's all linked to it though. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Anyway, our next topic is and Adam, you could because again, this is related to it. So. By the way, there's another instance of Sony where you at next week, May 7th. May 7th, Microsoft's going to have an Inside Xbox. And, normally, let's just be real, Inside Xboxes are pretty fucking boring, right? Nothing to show. This one, however, different. They're going to show a bunch of third-party Xbox Series X games. One of those being Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is not an Xbox exclusive, but it's being marketed under Microsoft. If you saw the trailer, it said Xbox One, Xbox Series X. But, just to kind of, because a lot of people are saying, oh, shit, a lot of people were surprised by this. I'm like, actually, almost all Assassin's Creed games have been marketed under Microsoft. And think about all the previous E3s, right? Assassin's Creed is always made. Actually, Adam, you know how it is. They debut the game at Xbox's press conference that earlier in the day, and then later in the day during Ubisoft's press conference, they show you the full gameplay trailer and all that other shit.
Yeah,
so
no, that's not what I was saying. Is that they talked about? Remember that system where the games are going to work on both of them. So if you get the X or you get the Xbox One, and you don't have to pay for a different version. It's going to be the same. It'll pick up whichever one.
Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, they announced that it's going to be cross. Not cross.
There's a name for it, but yeah, they have some special name for it. But yeah,
they have a new name for it. But it's what we've talked about all this time.
Yeah. So you won't have to buy it.
They're getting away with you having to buy the same game twice. That's something Sony is famous for doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's what we've been talking about this whole time. It's like, what is going to prevent Sony from doing something like that? But anyway, for this game specifically, they already came out and said, "Yo, you don't have to buy this twice." That's it. One game, basically, You
can get it now for your Xbox One, and then when the new one comes out, the new console, the X, you download it, and then that's it. You'll get that special, all the fixing versions that work on the X.
Yeah. By the way, a little bit off topic, I don't really engage in these things anymore, but somebody tried to start an argument with me on Twitter because I said, I guarantee, right? Actually, this is what I said. I said the most predictable, the most obvious prediction of 2020: Assassin's Creed Valhalla will be a cross-gen game available this fall. And somebody goes, "It's not coming out this fall. You're stupid. It's going to come out 2021." Oh, who's looking stupid now? 2020, motherfucker. Out of here, man. Listen, and this goes back to people not paying attention to their fucking history, right? Every time Ubisoft announcing an Assassin's Creed game, it comes out that year. It always has been like that. They don't pull that Sony shit where it's like 3 years out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, The Last Guard, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. If you get an Assassin's Creed reveal, that game's coming that year. It's always been like that. There's no difference. So it makes sense that they did this. And also the Xbox exclusivity thing or marketing exclusivity, that's another thing that makes sense. They've done that before. But it is cool to know that, hey, we will definitively, at least on Xbox side, not have to double dip for this shit. That's dope.
Does that mean there's going to be a Senua skin inside of?
Remember that same shit happened with Black Flag, where it was on 360, and then Xbox One came out, and then it was like, oh well, you got to buy that. I was like, yeah, but it just came out on the 360, so that's great. You don't have to double dip.
Yeah.
And
go ahead, Brett. I hear you back there, brother.
Well, you're talking about like the marketing exclusivity, where it's not exclusive; it just appears so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, it's gonna be this game. And the next Elder Scrolls.
Oh, you think that's going to be a Microsoft one?
Dude, like Todd Howard was on stage at the Microsoft reveal, and that's where they dropped the bomb.
Oh, okay, that
Elder
makes
Scrolls
sense.
was being in development.
Yeah. Okay,
He will be on stage with Microsoft, and then Sony will hear about it afterwards. It's going to be heavily marketed. Most people are like, most people will think it's a Microsoft exclusive.
Oh yeah. I have proof of that too. Remember, during the PS3 generation, right? People thought that Call of Duty was only for 360. That's what they thought, And this generation, people thought it was only on PS4 just because of the marketing. It's fucking hilarious how that works,
It's weird that it works, but look at the optics there. Microsoft comes out, announces new Assassin's Creed, new Elder Scrolls. Fucking done. Like, what do you need another 45 minutes for? That's all you need. Close curtain, pack up, go home. There ain't no following that. What are you gonna come out 3 weeks later in a tweet? Judging by their current behavior, I'd be like, oh yeah, we're gonna have that game too.
Yeah. So anyway, during the Inside Xbox, they're gonna showcase a bunch of third-party games that are coming to Xbox. And what I got from that, which is pretty obvious, I'm like, okay, if the third-party games, that means we're also going to get our first look at some of the PlayStation 5 games dropping this fall, which is pretty cool. So basically my point is, doesn't matter if you're an Xbox guy, PlayStation guy, watch that Inside Xbox because you're going to see a little taste of this current or next generation, which is good.
I'm excited to see which of these 16 studios are releasing launch games and what they're doing.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. Since these are... Okay. What would you consider those studios? Are they first-party studios now, aren't they?
They're first party.
Yeah,
okay, so we're not going to see anything from them. This is just a third-party showcase, according to them.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's just third-party.
Yes.
So don't get, because a lot of people are saying, I can't wait to see the new Halo. I'm like, third-party, brother, third-party,
Yeah, dude, like, I'm telling you, their marketing is going to be on point. They're like, yeah, Halo, Gears, Elder Scrolls, Assassin's Creed. Like, it's going to look like one of the best lineups in a long time, man.
Yeah, no Halo for this presentation, but yeah, no, it's gonna be crazy.
No, when they come out.
Yeah, when they come out, yeah.
Look at a third party, and I find it interesting they're doing a third party. They have like, I hate comparing Microsoft to Sony, like, because it is apples to oranges. But what do they have, like 3 times the internal studios that Sony does now?
No. They only have 2 more. Sony has 14, and they have 16. Or at least the acquired ones.
They acquired 16.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's a good question.
Before?
I don't know if it's double, but it's probably more. But then because somebody in the chat needs to verify this. I know Sony. One of them said it was 14 studios they have. Sony, right? Microsoft has to have more than that.
Sony really have 14 studios? Who the fuck? Where are their games?
Yo, quick shout out to Fonzie for subscribing.
Yo, what's going on, Fonzie? Casa de Fonz,
Yo, man, appreciate that.
Brett, they're working on them. I mean, they've been coming out. This year, they've been coming out with stuff. Dreams came out. We had Concrete Genie come out recently. But again, remember, just because every studio exists doesn't mean they're all putting out AAA games. A lot of Sony's games.
No, I know. That's what I was saying. Like, I didn't know Sony had that many studios. I mean, Sony has like 4 big studios that I can kind of think of.
Yeah, but remember, they have a lot of smaller ones like House Marquee. They have Japan Studio. They have a lot of these smaller guys.
Japan Studio is one of their bigger studios.
Yeah.
Media Molecule.
Yeah, Media Molecule's another one.
Oh, that's right. They do. Yeah. Okay.
Japan Studio makes Gravity Rush, right?
Yeah, they made Gravity Rush, The Last Guardian, and pretty much most of the Japanese games that that Sony makes comes through Japan Studio.
Yeah, but again, like I was saying, this whole Inside Xbox is yet another instance of Microsoft going out there showing the games to the people. Meanwhile, Sony's just in the cut, not doing nothing. Just saying, They're
there. They exist. They're just like, hey, everybody, remember PlayStation? Buy one.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone! Here's the release dates for the indefinite games.
But it's still funny to me. It's like Sony has to do so little, and they get way more press coverage. It's hilarious. Here's a logo. Here's a logo. Bam.
It's like Microsoft's like, hey, we got games. Yeah, we got this, and then Sony goes, we have a logo. Like, hey, Microsoft's like, hey, we just revealed the console. We revealed a bunch of games that are coming soon, and a bunch of new game studios. We have a controller.
That's right.
Yeah, no, it feels like being invited to two parties. One person's like, hey, man, we like fucking motorcycles and topless dancers and fucking high-end booze and a rented Playboy mansion over here. And then you look at that person like, I have a one-bedroom apartment, half pack of cigarettes, and a quarter bottle of rum. You're like, well, I'm going to go with the second guy. Like, why? What? He's been cool at parties before.
Oh man!
I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying, like,
so Sony's like, we have a colored console.
Fucking. I can't say that anymore.
It's just getting ridiculous, right? Like, is it just?
It's the power of Sony, man. It's the power of Sony.
Here's the real version. Our console's white.
Well, not even just like the fact that their reaction, like, it's ridiculous that you're saying so little, whether it's working or not. That's not the point. In all my years, I can't remember any other time when anybody releasing a system was just like not bothering to market or even announce.
It's almost like they hired back their old
choice, man.
It's almost like Sony hired back their old marketing strategy from years and years ago, where they never announced any official games. When they were coming out, they just put a couple of billboards up, and they're like, "All right, it's out."
Yeah. God, that happened to be so much in PlayStation 2.
It's on some buses. Get it.
How many times, growing up in that era, did you go, wait, that game's out already?
Yeah. Anyway, so Inside Xbox, we're going to be covering that shit on Throwdown. So get ready for that. That is that's a Thursday. Perfect.
I unfortunately have to announce that our coverage of Sony's live event has been postponed indefinitely.
Yay!
No. Here's what's going to happen. We might have a live event.
And nobody's going to talk about Inside Xbox. They're third-party games anyway. Fuck that shit.
That Inside Xbox is mad early.
Excuse me?
11 a.m. Eastern.
That's not too bad. That's not mad early,
yeah, I guess I was just expecting it like at night or something.
Yeah, no. It's just inside. It's probably gonna be half an hour or something, just like they usually are, Remember, for you guys who don't know, that's their answer to the Nintendo Direct. By the way, I forgot to put this in the show notes. Nintendo was going to have a Direct during E3 time. They've officially canceled it because of the Rona. That's what they said. So, no Nintendo news for you.
What's the cancel? It's a fucking pre-recorded video.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Like, what are you canceling?
Just get Miyamoto and a couple of the other guys to sit in front of their fucking webcams and just put some trailers up. Jeez.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, that's how it is. By the way, completely off topic. Adam, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I saw you throw your hands up earlier. Did you get wrecked in the game? Is that what happened?
Right at the fucking, I had 2 lives and I'm fighting the boss. I'm like taking the, I'm like, all right. And he just starts zooming back and forth. It was the cop.
The commissioner, right?
Yeah. And he just killed him. I was like, I had 2 lives. How did this shit happen?
Yeah, he's a cheap motherfucker, man.
No, now I just started on level 3.
Oh, man. All right, let's move on. Actually, Adam, I want you to give us more insight on this one. So Microsoft today announced that they have more than 10 million people subscribed to Xbox Game Pass, and overall there are 90 million people with Xbox Live. So what do you make of that?
That's money. The fact that they have so many subs. Think about it. That's paying $9.99 a month plus gold, because you need gold if you want to start playing online. That's a lot of money.
By the way, we should add in, Carlos, you brought this up. A lot of those subs for Xbox Game Pass, $1. You know.
Well,
That's me.
That's
Yeah,
not
didn't you
what
say
they
that,
were
Carlos?
Counting, though.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
That's not the
No, but I'm
what they
saying
were
that-
counting.
Yeah.
They weren't counting. They were consistent subs.
Yeah. Oh, that's Carlos said that's
Well-
him. He's paying $1. You know.
Yeah,
Oh,
I had
yeah.
I had 2-year subscription to Xbox Live, and all I needed was $1 to have Game Pass Ultimate for 2 years.
Me too. We got on it, but that was a temporary thing. Not everybody got that service. I don't think that's available now.
What didn't I think someone mentioned it? What Brian didn't you get it for $1 or how much did you get Game Pass for?
No, he was doing a month by month.
Pretty
Remember?
much.
He said he wasn't going to renew it.
Wait, let him
Then
finish.
I did. Yeah, I did get it for $1 first, but then I renewed it for 4 months afterwards.
For full price for 4 months, or did you get like a special?
It was discounted, but from the website, not from Microsoft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're having a lot of deals. So
Yeah,
I mean, but hey, man, if more people have eyes on their product, then it's
No, it's definitely we don't want to bring it down, but just had to make that caveat. But pretty
But
good
there were
numbers,
other
man.
numbers that was the thing. It was compared to other services, so people wanted to know. It's like, well, what about the other gaming services? Like EA Access has 5 million subs. That's nuts. 5 million people pay for that shit, and the PS Now 1 million. I could have swore there was more than that.
Oh yeah, PS Now it has 1 million.
I thought it had more than because remember, wasn't it just a few months ago they're talking about how they were the #1 still when it comes to playing or some shit? There was something with
Maybe
it
streaming. That's about it. Like
Oh,
who's their competition though? Stadia. It's like come on, that's cheap.
I don't know. Stadia was up there. I think I had like 2 million or some shit.
Really on Stadia?
Was it Stadia?
Yeah.
I'll look it up. Maybe it wasn't Stadia.
By the way,
But
speaking
it
about
was
Stadia, we may talk about that a little bit later.
It was a Ubisoft
What's
shit.
that in your hand,
Play.
Tony? Anyway,
But that's still the
yeah.
fact that they're willing to brag about that. That's because they haven't talked about numbers forever because of their
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
So
when was the last
if they-
time? Yeah, you heard
so
him.
for them to come out, that means they're like, "Hey, we're proud of this shit. You want to see this?" It's like
They actually have numbers.
Yeah, now they have numbers. But then they announced that the xCloud, because they said they will release that in a bundle to link with all of this, just like we've been having with the Ultimate. But it sounds like they said next year, 2021, to launch because they're having issues with Apple regarding of how to purchase games and stuff. Apple wants cuts and all that type of shit that goes on with it in-app purchases. So that's the main thing holding everything back now when it comes to the xCloud.
Yeah. So Damien says the service is not $1, but it is if you jump in now. If I because I don't have it anymore, it would cost me $1.
and for me, I mentioned again, I had Xbox Live for 2 years into the future, Xbox Live Gold, and I only paid $1, and I have Game Pass Ultimate for 2 years.
Yeah, so you're chilling.
Yeah, mine's is also.
I should have jumped on that shit because I still pay Game Pass even though I don't even fucking go online with Xbox. I'm like, gotta feed the needy, so I'll give them a little $10 and shit.
But you saw that deal. I mean, people could go. I think it's still up there on CD keys. They had for PlayStation Plus. It was $34 for a year.
Oh
yeah,
shit.
$34. I think it's still for $34.
Yo,
if you guys want to get that.
By the way, our boy B Will, we had him on the show like last month or something. He said that he's paid his PSN up to 2029. Like, damn, bro. Yeah, 2020. He's like, I'm covered till PlayStation 6, man. That shit is crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and again, all because of deals, man. All because of deals. It's crazy. So next time they have one of those for Xbox Game Pass, let me know, man. I'll buy that shit.
There's one now. I think I'll take a look after this. But
the thing is that it at least for Xbox, as long as you get people's eyes on it initially, once you have that subscription running, people sort of just forget about it and just let it run.
Why do you think I haven't canceled my Xbox Live subscription? It's more of a hassle for me to go through that process than lose $10 a month. I don't mind losing $10 a month.
Yeah. Now I'll tell you this much because my daughter, now that she's home because of all the shit going on, and she's playing more games, and she wants all these kiddie games. She wanted that Lego World, and Minecraft, and Roblox, all that shit. And I was like, fuck. And I go and I look on Game Pass, they're all there. So I just boom, 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 just download everything. I'm like, there you go, play all this shit, and that's great. I didn't have to buy any of this stuff; it's all on there. So I may not be using it, but she's definitely using the service now. So, and now everybody, if they have it, they can use it for Streets of Rage 4. That's on there.
Yeah, man. There you go. Although, like I told people on Twitter, try it on Game Pass, give it a shot, and if you like it, consider buying it too. Show them some love.
I wonder how much they paid for that, because Microsoft's got to pay a big chunk up front in order to do this.
Yeah, I don't know. We're never privy to those numbers, unfortunately. Would be interesting though.
The shortest one I know with that Grand Theft Auto, they paid big money for that, but it's already got pulled off. It's not on the Game Pass anymore.
Yeah,
it was only for like a few months.
Interesting.
I'm sure that costs a pretty penny to do.
Yeah,
well, you gotta have something.
Gotta have something. That's right, man. All right. So, anything else you guys want to say about these Xbox numbers? It is interesting to get numbers from Xbox.
I was just thinking. I just realized something. Just like what you said, sometimes people forget. And like, oh, well, at least I have it. It's got all these games. They probably don't even keep up with it and don't know that even games get removed.
No, they probably don't.
So they probably think, oh, yeah, it's got that game. I'll play it eventually.
Yeah, that's the thing about subscriptions in general. I had Netflix for like 3 or 4 years, right? I never watched the shit, but I kept paying for it because I was like, I don't want to, get rid of it. Because it's just a hassle. Then when I'm like, Tony, just stop it already. The only times I watched Netflix was whenever a new Marvel show debuted. Other than that,
Castlevania.
Yeah, Castlevania, I did see that, but other than that, I never watched Netflix. I'm like, fuck's the point, And it's funny. I told you guys this shit years ago when Netflix first started. Tony's like, hey, Tony, this is good. I'm like, when do I watch TV, guys? And you're like, yeah, but it's good. I'm like, it's just gonna sit there in the background. Then I got it, and it just sat there in the background for years. It's crazy. All right, who says that? Casa de Fonz, he goes, anime for me. Netflix got some good shows. No, I'm not saying they don't have good shows. It's just I'm not a TV watcher like that anymore. I used to be back in the day, but not anymore. It feels like a waste of time. I could play a video game instead, All right, moving on here. All right, so we're gonna kind of string two stories together here because we keep talking about how PlayStation is being very coy about shit. They're coy being a very nice term for what Sony's doing right now. But it seems that if some of these things are true, we may finally get some fucking games, PlayStation 5 games shown to us in June. So the first thing comes from the official PlayStation magazine. So their July issue, which is actually coming out in June, they're going to showcase PlayStation 5 games. This is not a rumor. This is official. They came out on Twitter. The actual official PlayStation magazine said June issue, which is actually the July issue, we're going to have PlayStation 5 games, right? So that's the first thing. And that one's official. That is lockdown. That's happening, right? Second thing is, and this is where it gets more interesting, a reporter from GamesBeat was asked over on Reset Era, he was in a conversation about PlayStation 5, and they were like, when are they going to show something? He said specifically June 4th, right? So we have official PlayStation magazine actually showing something in June. This guy's saying June 4th. Looks like we may actually get something finally in June, which is a month after Xbox is going to show their shit. Because apparently, not only with the Inside Xbox we just talked about, they're apparently going to have an actual reveal in May. That's not confirmed yet, but from all the sources, the way these guys are talking at Xbox, I'm talking about the official guys, Aaron Greenberg and those dudes, seems like we're actually going to get one. So basically, Sony would be coming after Microsoft, which is kind of an enviable position because they could just react to whatever Microsoft's doing, So yeah, what do you guys take on Sony finally potentially showing something?
I defer to Brett because I know he will say something. Brett,
you got the hot takes.
Yeah, you got the hot takes, man.
The hot takes.
Talking to me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brett. What do you?
Sorry, I got distracted by Kitty Cat.
I'm not repeating all that shit. Okay, I'll distill it.
To speak for Brett, it's about fucking time.
Yeah,
Brett, just give me the
basically, the official PlayStation magazine said they're actually, and this official, they're going to be showing PlayStation 5 games in their June issue. And on top of this, an insider who's gotten some things right in the past says that Sony will be showing something June 4th. So what do you make of that?
Let's see.
Like, I know we're kind of putting the pieces together,
So now what is that? 5 months before the console drops?
Yes, and apparently 1 month after Xbox is set to reveal their console.
You guys are really cutting it close to the wire.
Mm-hmm.
5 fucking
yeah.
months, like, is somebody prove me wrong, but like, this feels unprecedented. Like it feels like every other generation we've gotten more information than this.
Oh no, I agree. But think about it like this: June would be E3 month. June is actually when they showed the PlayStation and the price. Just to be fair, but to be fair, they also announced the fucking thing months before that. You know?
Yeah, they announced the thing in fucking February.
Yeah.
So
in a way, Sony's, at least announcement wise for the console, they're still on track. It's just they're
a whole jump behind. They're like 6 months behind.
No. Okay,
they're just doing it all at once. They're going to announce it. They're going to show it and announce it and do all that shit. Just cram it into.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
In the middle of Rona.
I will. Yeah, no, that is to be fair, because what they originally did with the PlayStation 4 was in February they announced the system exists. We didn't see the console. We didn't know the price. All we knew was the system was coming, and they showed a bunch of games, right? So just transfix that to their E3, which is like, hey, here's the actual physical console, here's the price. So they are jamming it all together in that sense, but they did at least announce the console. I know that the way they announced it was fucking stupid. We've gone over that many times, but I'm just trying to say it's not like we didn't hear nothing until June. We got a little something. It wasn't much of something, but we got something, you know. But I do agree with you, Brett, that because we should have already seen the fucking games already, you know? And this should have been more games. Now it's just going to be blah, just everything all at once.
I mean, I have tried, and I know, despite what it may sound like when I'm like, yeah, it feels like old Sony's coming back. Like, that's me being on Team Sony side, right? Like, that's me trying to figure out why a company that I kind of like is doing these things. But I'll be honest, I'm running out of benefit of the doubt. Like, I'm sick of fucking making excuses. And you don't hear it a lot on this podcast, but like, even in my own head, I'm like, well, I'm sure like it'll be fine, like it'll be good. But like, really, like, I'm sick of making excuses. Why is the onus put on me, the consumer, to have to figure out and justify the actions of your company? Because when I look at it on paper, all I see is a wildly mismanaged release. In every sense of the word, right? Like you're not reaching out to customers. You're not sharing information. You're being intentionally fucking difficult. You're pissing off your core audience base by yanking the release date of one of your most anticipated game franchises back and forth. You're not showing me anything as a company that is good. Period. And I mean that. Like, I have not seen anything out of Sony in like the last 6 months that I would even call fucking good. They've just sat on their goddamn laurels and continued to do this stuff. I realize that's cutting dangerously close to Last of Us development territory and things like that. But like, the Last of Us development has been a clusterfuck this whole thing. Like, I haven't seen anything that's been well executed and professional from anything related to PS5. Quite frankly, I'm getting sick of coming up with reasons why PS5 might be good, because I'll be honest, I'm starting to feel like we're trying to predict the secret sauce here. It feels exactly like last year when people were like, oh, well, the Xbox is going to do this. Well, the Xbox is going to do this. And we're sitting there like, you have no proof. You have nothing to go off of other than you like Xbox. And I'm not going to be that guy. I didn't think it was right to pull over the eyes and say, blah, 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 secret sauce. I'm not going to fucking do it for Sony. And I'm sick of being put in a position where I feel like I have to. I like Sony. I like PlayStation. I want to get a PS5. I'm probably going to get a PS5. But goddamn it, I'm fucking pissed by this. And there's no fucking excuse for it. It's not how you treat your customers. I don't care if it's a cultural barrier. I don't care if there's internal mismanagement. I don't care if there's turnover in the fucking CEO position. Somebody get their shit right. It's not about how hard you try or what you're doing. It's about the fucking end result. And I don't care. Like, I don't care how the CEO's fucking personal life is going. I don't care what internal politics are going on at the fucking thing. Just do your goddamn job. And that's the one thing that I don't see Sony doing. All I see is they have a bunch of my favorite franchises held hostage, and most of my friends are playing it, so I really don't have a fucking choice. But in terms of what they're doing right, I'm looking at the scoreboard. I'm not seeing anything. Can anybody tell me what I'm missing? Like, what is so fucking exciting about PlayStation 5 other than it's coming?
No, you're right. And again, we've been talking about this since January. Their whole messaging for this console has been fucked up severely, and the only thing that people are holding on to, and I'm talking about myself right now, is the fact that Sony has this legacy right now. All the past systems and all that, they've never let me down. But I always will admit, Sony, when they get out the gate, and I'm talking about all of them, basically, they fuck up. But this is the most spectacular. I'm not gonna say it's a fuck up, but it's just bad. It's terrible. It's fucking bad the way they're doing it. And I'm being real right now. I'm blaming this shit on Jim Ryan, man. I don't think he knows how to do this shit right, man. Like, his style is not very warm and receptive and open like the other guys were. So he is not doing a very good job. And it is kind of sad that you're kind of just, or at least people like myself are basing this off of, like, okay, I know Sony will do good eventually, so I'm going to give it the benefit of that. But I have no fucking illusions that this start of the generation is going to be whack. Wiggity, wiggity, whack. And I even said it on the show, I said it last week, and Damien, I hope you're there, man. Listen to the words that are coming out of my motherfucking mouth. If they have the same first-party games on PlayStation 5 that they do on PlayStation 4, I'm not buying PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4. I'm not buying a PS5, man. Fuck that shit. I'll wait. I learned my lesson from this generation. I bought that PlayStation 4. I didn't play that shit for 4 fucking months after I bought it. Why? Because all the games were on PS3, But, again, because it is Sony, because of that history, I have to believe they're going to turn shit around eventually. But right now, this shit is fucked up. There is no excuse. And I see a lot of excuses on fucking Twitter. Obviously, I don't get as worked up as you do, Brett. Just not the way I am like that, but I feel where you're coming from, brother, and I hope you understand that. Like, I may not have the passion you do, but I feel where you're coming from, man. It's not good. It's not good what they're doing. This is bad, And I don't give a fuck if there's a global epidemic going on. You got to let people know what the fuck's going on. Get excited for your shit. Microsoft, they're doing a thing. I'm not even a Microsoft guy. I don't give a fuck about. I'm not buying Xbox Series X. I don't give a shit about that. But I give respect where it's due. Microsoft is doing their fucking thing every time, Anyway, Damon, what are you talking about, man? He's yelling. He said, you fucker said no plans will be in place. What are you talking about, Damien? What is Damien yelling at us about, man? He goes, I asked you fuckers that months ago if the shakeup would cause issues. You fuckers said no plans will be in place. Yeah, that was months ago, Damien. Now we're here, and things haven't changed, bro.
I'm pretty. I think.
What are we Nostradamus? Damien, what are we fucking Nostradamus here? We're just grasping at straws like anybody fucking else out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got to call a spade a spade. Like, we're all, majority of us are PlayStation.
Look at this hat right now, son.
Yeah, like we're majority PlayStation gamers, and none of us are happy with the way they're handling things.
Yeah.
So,
now I know what Demon's talking about. He asked us. It was one of the episode 3 questions. He was like, "Will the recent shakeups at Sony, affect anything?" At the time, which was like 3 or 4 months ago, we said no, they won't. Now it's obvious they fucking have.
Hey, whoa! In fairness,
Brett,
I was the odd man out on that one.
Yeah, Brett. Yeah, to be fair to Brett and Damien, if you have been listening to their shows, which you said you weren't, you would know that Brett did say they were. The rest of us were like, no, it isn't. Now it's pretty fucking clear they are affecting their plans. Crystal fucking clear, But you got to go with whatever information you have at the moment, It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up.
For me,
they could be wrong.
Yeah.
For me, in all of this, I'll just wait till it shows up. But I obviously see that it's making a lot of people annoyed about the lack of information. For me, I'm just like, okay, it comes out when it comes out. I mean, officially, the only card that I'm playing is I'm not going to buy any console on day one. That's it for me. If it means like a year or two later, why not?
Yeah. But I mean, and it's like you're kind of different because like you always have that stance like every generation.
Yeah.
But like for people like me, I mean, well, for other people, not like me or you, but other people, like, they're not getting anyone excited for this. That's the whole issue.
That's the biggest thing. It's just like they're kind of weirdly haphazardly tossing shit out. To be honest, like, are you saying that is Sony saying that all their plans are so dead set in stone that they can't revise it and rework it to try to get get that momentum going? I don't
Oh
think
yeah,
we
they
should.
could.
Go ahead.
Oh no, my bad. No, I mean they can audible, and get their shit together. But I'm just saying the way things have been going, and comparing them to their most direct competitor, Microsoft, it's just like day and night.
And I don't, and if they're sitting on their laurels, it's not a good look. I mean, obviously in this situation, Microsoft has the most. They have to start, getting everybody ready for all the things that are coming. It's like, okay, what do you guys got? Okay, we didn't do it the last time, but this is what we got this time. And I don't think that Sony should try to underestimate that.
Yeah. It's interesting, man. So yeah, the Jim Ryan, man, you gotta step up your shit, man.
I don't know what his plan is.
I don't. That's the problem.
He doesn't know what his plan is.
Is he just trying to use his British voice to impress people? I don't know. Go ahead.
I feel like it's Sony behind the board, like in the boardroom. The consensus is, we're doing well, and we got the majority of the market share. Let's just keep that going. Like it's just new people that have come in to fill the shoes of people who were successful. And they're just like, no, let's just keep doing what they were doing. Like
all I know is I get a Phil Harrison.
Oh, that's not good.
I get a Phil Harrison feel from Jim Ryan, where it's
Another
like
British guy,
another British guy who talks fancy, who doesn't do anything. It just looks good on a stage.
Bring back Andrew House, man. That's the kind of British person we need.
We need a house party, man.
Yeah, we need a house party. Oh man.
But again, we don't know. Maybe the new internal structure. All those guys probably didn't want to deal with that bullshit anymore, and they're just like, all right, we're out. How is it that Sony loses all their forward-facing executives in like a 2-year span?
No, not 2 years, 2 month span. It was crazy. Andrew House, to be fair, he left earlier before that. But yeah, you're right. We had oh my God, Sean Layton, right? He left. Gio Corsi left, and there was another one that I'm failing right now. Like they just Shuhei didn't leave, but he got moved to another area. And you're right. And before that, and like you're right, before that, even year, if you want to talk about years, Adam Boyes left. Like all the guys that really made PlayStation 4 like the great console that it is, all those guys are gone, or they're not in the same positions.
Dude, all the fan outreach is gone.
What's that?
I said, all the fan outreach is gone with those. Like I just remembered something that sent me down. Like, y'all remember Kevin Butler?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, well, Kevin Butler
was a
he was fake, but yeah.
No, I know, and that's my point.
Yes.
Like I was like, I thought to myself, they need to get Kevin Butler out there. And then I remember, like, those were commercials just for, like, consumer outreach, like, and brand promotion as Sony. It made you feel, even though he was fake, it made you feel like Sony was an actual thing you could point at. It'd be like these guys.
There was an actual face to it, even though the face was a actor.
Right, and then this last generation, they did that one bearded guy with like the weird, like mystical weapon shop that was all video games put together. Like it was not special, but at least they were fucking trying. These days, they don't do commercials anymore. They don't even tell you about the console release. Like objectively, I just realized, like, wow, I've not felt like anybody at Sony has even tried to be like get my interest.
I don't know. I feel like. I mean, I don't know if it's they're trying to be that sort of, like that sort of feel that people who companies that have like what is considered a premium product and how they don't talk to you, they talk at you.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's why you've been sort of comparing them to something like Apple, right?
Yeah.
They kind of try to talk over you rather than to talk to you. They throw things at you, and
Yeah, well, also it's just like, they'll get on board. Like they know they've got you by the short hairs. That's why I hate any brand that tries to get you to buy into their ecosystem, because they're like they're gonna know. What are you gonna do? Leave our ecosystem? You're fucked. You have to keep buying our stuff, otherwise the money you've spent is wasted. And it just keeps rocking and rolling and keeps going and going and going. And you keep investing in their ecosystem, and basically you're basically paying to be the prisoner of that ecosystem. It's fucking bullshit. That's why I hate Apple. That's why I'm starting to get really pissed at Sony. Like the whole idea of meh, you'll buy our system, motherfucker. That just that attitude right there makes me want to say no, I'm not. Me, and I'm pretty sure Adam. Like, we're mercs. I'll go with whatever fucking system. I don't give a shit. Try me.
I don't care. Whatever makes me happy.
I think so.
Adam, you're a Buddha system fanboy.
He's a Buddha system.
Well, it's up to you to decide.
Adam has a love for Microsoft. He's always had it. So if Microsoft jumps up again, he'll be back up there. He'll be back on the Microsoft wagon.
Adam's waiting, man. You could tell this dude was waiting for Microsoft to come back, man.
I'm waiting for him to come back. I'm definitely, because when it comes to the tech, they were bringing it. That Xbox, man, with the hard drive and the network connection and all the stuff that they had going with it, the interface, online, that was amazing.
And it was all taken from a bunch of people who were hacking that original console.
They made it beautiful, exactly. And then they were like, "Oh, we'll add all that stuff afterwards," and they did, and then they fucked it up. Because it's funny though, they knew that a lot of what we were doing on it with XBMC, Xbox Media Player, and then doing coding and all that stuff, people were using it to watch TV and all these services. And then Xbox One comes out, remember? And they were like, "Oh, you can watch TV on it." They were actually trying to get that audience. Like, hey, look, now there's a legit way, and you can just do that on here.
I feel like that's what also happened with 360. Just looked at all the crazy shit that all the hackers and the homebrew folks were doing, and they said, "Huh, why didn't we think of that? All right, let's just take it."
I feel like that happens for everything, all these devices. You find out a lot of these tools and features were all from when you would jailbreak your device. Like, oh, that's what they were doing on that scene.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's move on to the next story. Completely different topic here. So EA and Google announced a partnership to bring EA games to the Stadia. And yes, for you guys watching, this is indeed a Google Stadia controller. Your boy will be reviewing this soon, so stay tuned for that. Very interesting. As a matter of fact, later on in the show, I'm going to give you a little bit of my review of the Google Stadia, what I've played. So yeah, I believe, because I'm just being honest, I don't keep up with fucking Stadia news like that. But yeah, there was no partnership with EA before. There weren't any EA games, but now there's going to be EA games on it. One of the big ones is going to be the Star Wars game, the fucking Jedi shit.
Wasn't
Fallen Order?
Yeah, Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah.
Didn't Phil Harrison have something to do with EA at some point too?
I believe so.
So there we go. He's got that connect. He's got their ears. Like, hey, yo,
so that also means, hey, Adam, I want your thoughts on this. EA Sports is coming to Stadia.
Whatever, at the full price. Like, that's what I was thinking before when I mentioned about the EA, and they were talking about, oh, EA Access is 5 million subs. Those have to be all the people that play the sport games, and we're like, hey, I'm not paying $60 every year for fucking roster updates and bullshit features. I'll just pay the $4.99 a month and just ride that shit out. So I'm sure a majority of people, because they're definitely not doing it for Mass Effect and Anthem and all that crap. So it's got to be the sport guys that are playing it. So unless are they bringing that service over? Are they bringing is EA Access going to work on Stadia?
I don't know. I don't think it says anything about that.
If it's not, no, it makes no point, because these are old ass games already.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There he is, Manny. Your boy Phil Harrison. He says, we're thrilled to see some of Electronic Arts' biggest hits come to the Stadia. Interesting, he said some. He didn't say all. I can't wait to play EA Sports, FIFA, Madden, NFL, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order on my.
I've been playing that months ago.
I can't wait to play last year's games on this.
On this fucking thing. Yeah.
Not to mention the way those have like FIFA and then all the other ones. They have the live mode where you get to see the schedule and you can pick your favorite teams and go through their schedule. But now, due to all the issues having, that whole shit's broken. It's not happening.
Well, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Yeah, because there's no sports going on right now. All that shit's fucked up.
FIFA Ultimate Team, where it would go based off of every team of the week, and they would show you the stats increases and decreases for certain players for what they did that week. None of that's happening.
Damn, man, fucking Rona, son.
Yeah, it screwed everything up. Some leagues aren't even coming back. In France, the league, they already said no, it's not coming back. It's done for the year. That's it.
Yeah.
So.
You know, I'm looking through this press release. Literally, that's all it says. Like, they have a partnership and that's it.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you got a Stadia, you know, and you somehow haven't played these games yet, there you go.
What was it that they announced that they had PUBG and they were like, "Oh, we got the PUBG." Really? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, they got PUBG on that shit.
Playing that right now. There's so many other games to play right now. Hell, talk about Call of Duty Warzone or something.
I don't think they understand who their audience is, man. Like, I just feel like it's like, what, you're just gonna serve up a bunch of old ass games and just say, "Hey, everybody's gonna go pay your subscription." You haven't even proven that your stuff works.
Yeah. Yo, you know what? Since I think we're kind of done with this specific topic, I'm going to give you my review of the Google Stadia.
All
you know, and I'll have you guys just ask me questions.
Yo, man, 2 reviews, 1 show? Excuse me?
All right. So basically, I got the Founders Edition. That's what they sent me to review. I didn't buy this, people. You know, I got to review this shit. So they sent me that. So that costs $129, and it comes with the controller. The Google Stadia. The controller is actually pretty good. It's like a hybrid of the PlayStation and the Xbox controller. Right?
Kind of looks that way.
Yeah. It's actually a very, very good controller, and it works.
Kind of a hybrid of the Xbox and the PlayStation controller, aka the DualSense.
Oh shit! You know, what's interesting? Damn it! Now I lost my train of thought. Carlos fucked me up. That's a good. Oh yeah, you could play. You could use this on Steam if you want for PC. Which is cool, you know.
Kind of like what you can do with most controllers.
Yeah. All right. So you got that, and then it comes with a bunch of horse shit in here. I'm not doing an unboxing. Here's the interesting thing, because you're like, oh, Google Stadia. You know what it really is if you want to play it on your TV?
Yeah.
Is that a Chrome?
This is the Chromecast. Yeah, this is the Chromecast. So you plug this shit into your TV. There's a power cable. But here's where it gets interesting. They never told you about this. You know how you set this shit up? You need to download the Google Home app for your phone and the Google Stadia app for your phone. That's how you set everything up. So you basically plug in the fucking shit right here, the Chromecast, and then you go into your phone and you sync them up via Bluetooth and you update the firmware, all that other shit. And then after you do that, you open up the Stadia app to sync up your controller, update it, and all that other stuff. And here's where it gets interesting. You have to use the app in order to buy games. You can't buy games off the Stadia app itself, which is crazy.
That sounds so fucking
Yeah, it's like, yo. Here's the thing.
Like, you know, you can just hop on one leg and then, you know, put your hand over your head. Come on, guys.
Well, it took me like 20 minutes, and I was like thinking like, yo, remember days when you used to just plug in a console and play? Like, you know,
and you pay $100 and something just for a controller and a dongle.
Yep. You know.
All right.
Pretty much it. So yeah. But you know, after you do all that, I went in to play the games, and the interface is super, super simple. It's just literally a list of games and stuff. But it takes up the screen. They're animated. Looks nice. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna jump into Destiny 2. I need to check the fucking latency on this shit, right? I'm gonna tell you right now, and it's funny because I was playing Destiny 2 earlier this week on my PlayStation 4, right? So it was still fresh in my mind. Play this shit, there was no fucking difference. No latency. It played perfect. I played it on the Chromecast. I played it on my PC. By the way, if you were playing on PC, you got to open up just a Google, you threw it through your browser. It was fucking legit. And as a matter of fact, it was a little bit better than my PlayStation because it was 60 frames a second. Remember, I'm playing the PC version of it, you know? Real smooth and all that. Like, and I played that. I played this racing game called Grid. Again, racing game, you need precise controls. Everything was fine. But that's the kicker, right? Why did I have that seamless experience? Because I have some bomb-ass internet, right? What if you don't have good internet, right? You're going to be fucked, you know? That's the thing. Like, this is really, I'm just being honest right now. This thing is really for people who live in like, yeah, if you, I was going to say cities, but you could be in bumblefuck nowhere and have good internet. If you have good internet, you're good, but there's a lot of people in this country who do not have good internet, live in the cities or bumblefuck or wherever, like, so it's kind of misleading.
There's an opportunity they're missing here.
Yeah. Oh, what's up, Brett?
There's an opportunity they're missing. Google Stadia.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Who makes the best internet?
Google.
Who has the best internet service?
Google right now.
Yeah, they should be adding that as an addition to their plan. They should be putting a rental charge on it. They shouldn't be selling this thing. They should be renting it along with your cable box, man.
Well, the thing.
Yo, hold on, whoa, hold on. Brett, you just fucked me up right now, man. Yo, that's crazy. No, you're right though. It's like, hold on. You know what?
$10 a month, just like your cable box.
Well, you're fucking me up right now, man. Okay, because this thing is supposed to be like gaming for everybody, gaming accessible, made easy, right? How do you make it easier than just having it part of your fucking cable bill? I'm telling you, Brett, you fucked me up right now, man. That's brilliant.
But the problem is that Google is not available everywhere.
Yeah, that's the problem.
No, but the places that it is, you would have such a high attach rate.
That's right.
That
Yeah,
people would rave about it because you've already got the infrastructure and the speed to be able to provide the service. And if nobody else can provide the infrastructure or the speed to be able to provide the service, that only highlights how superior your service is. Google, I know you're listening. You can have this one. Just remember me.
I think you know. I mean, to be honest, it's like the real test bed would be to provide the Google Stadia service to people who are already on the Google internet.
Yeah.
It's a perfect advertisement for their service.
I agree. It's like, hey, for $10 extra a month, you get games, you get access to games. That's pretty good.
I think the one thing about Google is that the way they sort of built it, it's, you know, because
but then that's just dividing the money up again.
It has this mobile platform and stuff like that. They're obviously trying to spread it, you know, everywhere. Then, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. Because remember, you could play this on your TV through the Chromecast. You can play it on your PC. Okay, you can play on your phone, asterisk. You need specific phones. I have the Galaxy S7, not compatible with it. If I had the 8, it would have been compatible, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's the one caveat. So I couldn't test it on my phone. But again, playing it, Google Stadia, was actually a very seamless experience. I'm like, this is actually pretty cool. But let's just be real here. And Adam, you touched on this before, right? Who the fuck is this for? Who the okay? If
Can I ask that question?
Yeah, I know. Was it you, Manny? It was you. Okay. Who is this for? And the reason I asked, I was like, you know, and you already know where this is going. Like, if you have a console, you have a Xbox, PlayStation, what the fuck do you need this for?
Yeah, I don't.
Casuals and kids.
No, Brett. I specifically said, you know, those guys. That's just cut to the chase. That's who this is for. It's for casuals and kids.
It's for casuals and kids, but you heard how complicated it is to set the damn thing up.
Yeah, you need one of us to set this shit up for you. To be fair, though, the instructions are pretty fucking simple. It's just you have to go through all these instructions.
It's like you have to download 2 apps, and then I don't know, you know, can't we just...
Again, they're using the technology the wrong way.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I get that you can connect all these things. You can connect all these from different portals. That should be the extra. What it should be is, you know, when you get a Google. You get the little box. How much is the box? $12 a month. And then you have a controller that they also give you. What's a controller for? I don't know. There's not a fucking console, but it still plays video games for another $10 a month. So that is so low price and so easily accessible that it's going to sell their internet better. But think about it. Grandma and grandpa, like, they have the grandkids over like once or twice a month. Like, they'll throw $10 on to have that little controller. And even if it's old games, the grandkids like coming over and playing, like, it's for kids and casuals, but kids and casuals are encountered a lot, and there's a lot of ancillary people. Like I know I personally paid $10 a month for a cable box that is in my guest room that nobody watches, and I pay that $10 a month just in case somebody needs to crash and they want to watch some fucking TV, because I want a fully functioning guest room. Because I've never been able to do that before. It is a bed, it is a table, it is a TV, so you can watch TV in there. So like I don't think that $10 a month is something a lot of people would worry about, and all of a sudden you just find these controllers in fucking everybody's house.
Yo, hold on, man. I'm just thinking about like gaming as a utility. If you think about it, you know.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Old Sega Channel shit.
Yeah, man. And here's the thing. Go ahead, man.
The best way to advertise this thing is like, I don't know if it should be an additional service. I think it should just be a part of it.
Yeah,
part of the whole ecosystem of what you get. So
I agree.
If you get what is it, the Chromecast, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can already do your Google Stadia shit.
Yeah. By the way, you'd be fair. The Chromecast is for more than just games. There's a bunch of other shit you could do with it.
People, you know, you watch TV on it. I mean, it's probably one of the better of the you know, those dongle things, like, you know, even Amazon one. But like, that's the way. That's at least what I remember Amazon was trying to do with their video game service. Was that essentially you stick your Amazon Echo into the thing, and it does everything. And, you know, you can play a game on it. You can listen to music. I think that's the sort of route that they should go with the Stadia thing, instead of throwing an additional charge on the top of it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like the you know, and we've talked about Stadia before. Like the way they launched this thing was fucking botched. The messaging was all wrong. But you know, there is potential in the technology. Like we could see, like maybe a couple of years down the line, where instead of having to buy all this shit, all you need to do is buy a controller, and the app is already in your TV. You know, that would be the best way of doing it.
That would have been a much better way to get people to go on board. It's like, oh hey, you already have Stadia.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been smart. It's like, hey, just buy the controller. Hey, how do I hook it up? Turn on your controller. Turn on Bluetooth. It'll detect it. Bam, you're good to go.
But I feel like because of maybe whoever's running it, they feel like they
Phil
need
Harrison.
to lock it down. They need to lock it down into a familiar shape, a sort of console-ish.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but by the way, that little thing heats the fuck up, boy. Like, damn. That little Chromecast heats up.
Oh yeah,
man.
Yeah, because it's connecting to their servers.
Yeah, so I'm like, even though it is made so you can just have it plugged in all the time, I'm unplugging this shit. This shit is crazy.
And then the other thing is that doesn't Stadia use a sort of predictive AI?
Apparently, yeah. Chris, he explained all that for their
So are you even playing the game? Or is it just giving you the impression that you are playing?
Yeah, could you imagine? That's some meta shit. But again, playing.
Well, it's kind of like the way the new RoboCop worked. It made him think that he was doing all the actions that he was doing, but it was really the AI that was just predicting what he was going to do.
Yeah, who knows? But again, playing Destiny 2 felt exactly the same as playing it. I don't. But one cool thing, this is not a Stadia thing; it's a Destiny thing, which is actually kind of cool. Because I went in there, I'm like, okay, I'll play Destiny 2, but like, oh shit. I gotta just play some.
Don't you do it? Don't you praise it?
I have to, Brett. I'm sorry.
Don't do it. I'm warning you, Tony.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do it anyway.
All right.
Okay, because I was like, oh, I gotta okay, let me try Destiny, but I gotta fucking start a blank character and shit. I'm like, whatever, I'll deal with it. I go in there and it's like, hey, have you played Destiny before? You want to use your character? I'm like, wait, that's an option? Really?
Yeah. It has a centralized server.
Yeah, so I went in there.
Locked up your PlayStation.
Yeah, so I was like, hey, do you have a character on Destiny? I'm like, yes, I do. I'm like, go to Bungie.net.activate and set everything. I'm like, oh shit. So I go in there, I check off my PlayStation thing, and I had to input a code. Bam, my character is there in the Stadia version. I'm like, whoa. That's actually kind of cool. I wish other games did this shit,
They could, like the Division, because the save file is not local. It's on the server.
That's what I'm saying.
You could, especially if you have an Ubisoft account. They just block it, but there's no reason for that.
Yeah, no, the only other time I remember doing something like that is when I played Grand Theft Auto, my PS3 Grand Theft Auto. I moved that shit over to PS4, Brett, I hope that praising of Destiny wasn't too bad. It didn't hurt you too much.
Nah, I'll take it. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. But you got to admit, that's a cool feature. I wish other games did that shit,
I think LA Noir used to do it too. LA Noir could do it as well.
But yeah, again, playing Stadia, it works as advertised, at least for me. But nah. It's not really essential. For guys like us, we don't need that shit. What do we need a Stadia for? Like to play old fucking games that we've beaten already,
Yeah, you can play all the old Tomb Raider games. Yay.
Dude, that's like 80% of Steam.
Yeah.
So it'd be perfect for Brian.
Oh, damn. Don't disparage Brian like that, man.
I didn't mean it disparaging. Honestly, dude, games don't die on PC. It's just an idea that we have in our heads, and I think it was from going through the PS2 generation where games were coming out so fast that you would play them and then there was immediately other things that you needed to play. We had such a flush of games that we consider games consumable, and then you move on they have some sort of expiration date on them.
But then why? But here's the bigger question of all of this. It's why play a couple of older games on a Stadia when you can literally do Steam? I don't know.
Because you're not buying the game, because it's easy to spend a lot of money on Steam.
And then also, not to mention, Stadia has, not only do you have to pay for their service, but you also have to pay for the game. So that's
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize that you still had to buy the games.
Yeah, you do. You do.
So it's what's the use? Just go get Game Pass. I mean,
So they're basically streaming, saying hey, you don't get a console. We can sell you old games, and our controller's about twice as expensive as the other two actual companies.
It's
Buy our
not.
product.
It's not. The controller's not twice as much. It's $10 more than the standard controller. But
I think it says 110.
no, the whole package.
The whole package.
Because remember, you're also paying for the. You're also paying for the.
Plus.
Remember, you're also paying for the Chromecast. You know, it's not just a controller. You know that you're getting in the package. Getting the Chromecast too. So the controller's $70, which is a lot, admittedly. Then the Chromecast is like what, $50 or something. So yeah, there you go.
I mean, or you can just get Xbox Game Pass.
That's what I'm saying. Like, listen, yeah, no,
Guys, just simplify this shit.
that's what I'm saying. Like for guys like us, Stadia is not fucking necessary at all. You know.
Well, no, it's not necessary for guys like us, but it's too complicated for the people that it's actually aimed for.
And that goes back to the point we're trying to make. Like, who the fuck is this shit for? It's not for us, and it's too complicated for the casuals. So who the fuck is this for? You know.
Yeah, it's the thing is, again, if you're trying to get a casual market, don't make those people jump through any hoops. If it means just, if it's already there and they can do it, then that's great. That's perfect. But don't, you got to do all these different things. Then you got to explain to them, oh, no. When you pay for it, you don't get all the games. You have to pay for the games piecemeal. So it's like you're just,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
We've just gone backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that had the Sega channel?
Yes.
You probably were. I mean,
okay.
New York
Gather round, children. Let Grandpa tell you a tale. Back in the day when we used knobs to change the channel on the TV, you could actually
I use pliers. I didn't have no knob.
Okay. Adam kept it real. You could pay the cable company. The people who came out, put the wires in the walls, they hooked into the back of the TV, just you screw the coax into the back of the TV and you got like a glorious 12 channels. Those guys, if you gave them like $10 a month, they would somehow make it so that Sega games were just on your TV. You would just turn it to the channel and it would boot up and a screen would pop up with like 100 games. And you could play those games all fucking month. And the next month, about a third of them would sub out. And it was just a channel that you turned to and then played whatever game that you wanted to out of, an entire list. Like, how the fuck have we regressed so far backwards from that? I just want the Sega channel again. That's all I want. Even if it's not just input on a TV, I input my smart TV, turn it to a fucking service, boom, there's a bunch of the screen. They're just like fucking Netflix. Why should it be different than Netflix? I go to a main screen, select the things, say, don't want to play that, don't want to play that, don't want to play that, put that on my list, don't want to play that. I can play some of this, pop it on, grab the controller, fucking go. Why can't it be like that? We know we have the technology. We fucking had it then, man.
I think it's called Game Pass.
And I think that's the thing. Like, there's a very clear place for something like this, and there are people trying to push this idea, but the two have just not met in the middle. It should just be. I think honestly, it's, and as much as I hate cable providers, just have the cable providers, man. Make the deal with your local cable provider.
Well,
you know how much more people.
That's exactly the reason why. That's exactly the reason why the Sega channel wasn't available everywhere, because they would have had to piecemeal every single cable company that existed at the same time. Time Warner and all the other ones, Comcast and all of them, and they all had to make separate deals. So that's why it was never available.
I don't remember the Sega channel, but I remember going to a hotel and there was channels. You know about this? There was channels that you can get that played games.
Different kind of joystick, bro.
No, I know where Adam's going with this. Like, if you go to hotels, some of them would have the Sega channel on them.
Yeah, and they had that, and they had Nintendo.
That is actually.
I do remember getting a Nintendo. There was Super Nintendo control. I'm like, what is this? I was like, you can rent these games, and it was a special box.
That is a totally different service and deal than the Sega channel.
Okay.
No, but you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
The hotels had that.
Officially, that was that is a hotel. Hotels almost have their own cable company. They don't run through anything else. A friend of mine actually used to work for those sorts of companies where they essentially are a cable company for hotels, and they make their own deals to do those sorts of crazy things like that. Like, hey, look, you can have a video game console that runs through your cable service.
Yeah,
that's them. But it's not like wide consumer stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, Stadia. I don't know, man.
And it's if it was a simpler idea, I think it could be genuinely something that can work,
Yeah.
especially since you say
Well,
running
it's
it
killing
runs.
the simpler one.
Well,
It's killing GeForce Now.
Yeah, hold on, Manny. Go ahead, finish your thought. That is
Oh,
what.
no, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. It's like the actual act of playing games, streaming works. That's good. It's the other shit around it that needs some work, man. You know, which is kind of interesting. You figured that'd be the biggest like hindrance that the games wouldn't run because you're streaming. No, that actually works. That's fine. It's everything else associated with Stadia that's the fucking problem.
Eureka! We've got it to work.
Shit.
Yeah,
Man, full price. That's crazy.
yeah.
All we need to do is figure out how to make everybody agree on how to let it work, and that's where we got hung up on.
Yep, that's pretty much what it is. It's like it sucks because there's all these different parts and things these things need to go through in order to get it to work right.
Yo, I could just imagine like maybe this is a bad analogy, but it's like I'm imagining like you're eating a really good, not a great, but a really good hamburger, right, at a restaurant, but it's in a shitty neighborhood. It's like, okay, the burger's good, but I don't want to go through this neighborhood, bruh. You know, that's how,
Shit, it's like going to Kennedy Chicken.
yeah. Hey, by the way, Salty as Gamer, man, or Salty as Gaming, thank you for hosting us, man. Appreciate that.
Thanks a lot, man.
Go ahead, Brett. What's your point, man?
It seems like a newspaper headline that would read something like Earth bands together, unites resources, builds a spacecraft, never launches because they can't decide on a launch time.
Oh shit!
That's
Right? Yeah. Again, it just blows my mind. I'm like, again, the main thing I figured that would be bad about Google Stadia would be the actual playing of games. No, that's the only good thing about it. Ain't that something? Oh
Yeah,
man.
definitely needs to be simplified for audiences. All these additional pays and all kinds of cut all that stuff out.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. You know, I have to say though, now after I've played this and I've played Xbox Project xCloud, game streaming has come a long ways from fucking OnLive and PlayStation Now, man.
Oh,
You know, I remember playing both of those. They were fucking janky. I'm pretty sure PlayStation Now is better, but when I first played it,
I mean, you were playing it on a PS3.
I was playing on a PS3 at E3 at a close thing, and it was still bad.
Yeah, I
You know?
played. What was it? I tried to get an S rank in Metal Gear Solid 5, and the latency was all fucked up.
I played Project xCloud on Danny Pena's phone using shitty hotel Wi-Fi, and it was perfect.
I mean, the other
know?
thing about it is that they also have because it's running video. I mean, they can literally just cut down the video quality or do some sort of conjiggering
Yeah.
to make it look decent.
Yeah,
You
you're
don't
right.
need to make things look that great on a phone.
Yeah. As long as the feel's right, you know? All right, man. Moving on, and I'm pretty sure this story will set Brett on fire. So, Final Fantasy VII's producer, who is also the director of the original Final Fantasy VII, Yoshinori Kitase, said that they're not sure how many parts this thing's going to be. You know what I heard? Ching, ching, ching. Give me your motherfucking money.
I'm saying this is the same guys that made the 20 different versions of Kingdom Hearts before before they actually got to 3.
Yeah.
I feel like we're standing on the precipice of that same
Man. So this is, before we go on, this is what Kitase had to say. We have a general idea of how the story would play out, but we haven't decided exactly how many parts, nor can we confirm anything. There's speculation that it will be 3 parts, but we're doing things one step at a time. Yeah.
I swear, man, 18 years, and it took them to get to Kingdom Hearts 3.
I have one question.
Yes.
When they say that there's no way to speculate how much there's going to be, this is a remake, right? Like, there is absolutely a way to fucking speculate. It's called the game that you're remaking.
Oh man, Brett's about to go off again.
No, that's just
Yeah.
How do you not fucking know your own plans for something you made 15 years ago that's already finished?
Well, like I mean, even
It's not a
if this game,
one-for-one
We
duplicate.
don't want to
That's the
go into
problem.
spoilers,
It's
no, but like
Yeah.
even this game, like it was like how many 6 hours of the original game, and they extended it to like 30 some hours.
Yeah,
so it's like
they're putting
So
all
they're
kinds of other
really saying
shit.
we don't know how much we can pad this.
This is what it's. This is me being cynical right now. It sounds to me like, hey, how many of these can we make? How many of these can we make before people stop giving us money? That's what it sounds like to me. You know?
How far can we stretch this?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I feel like this is Dragon Ball Z versus Dragon Ball Kai, right? Like this they just added 36 hours of Gohan side adventures and the fucking slums and fucking street urchins and fucking Kupo costume bullshit. Like there's nothing wrong with the 6 hours that you were in Midgar before because so much other shit happens. Like I don't, man, I'm playing through the game and I'm almost feeling like Jesus Christ, I'm still in fucking Midgar. I know I'm going to be here the whole game, and I'm like, man, I should have been out of this shithole like a while ago.
Yeah, no, man, the whole game is Midgar, man.
Dude, you're fucking with the pacing of the game. Like you're in the original game. Like I'm not gonna spoil it, but
No, you can
happen.
spoil that. It's just I can't spoil the ending of this game. But the original 7, go fucking nuts.
No, just in case there are people who don't have going into this with fresh eyes, first generation. I'm not going to. I know I can. I'm just not going to.
Okay, fair
There's
enough.
stuff that happens like 40 hours into the game, right? If you have to do this on disc 3 4 years after you started the game, it's not going to have the same emotional impact, man. It's just not.
My thing about all this splitting,
Like Avatar.
My thing about splitting apart all of these parts is that what is gaining levels and stuff even mean anymore? You know, before in the original game, you had that general progression. Obviously, when Final Fantasy Remake 2 comes out, it's not going to take over all your progress from the last game. It's just going to start you from square one again, like they always do.
Square.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I was thinking about that because this game the level cap is 50, but I'm like, okay, even if the next cap is 99, what about the game after that? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it just feels like it's just
Yeah, I wish I could say more to answer the question, but I can't. You know,
that's a really good point, man. You just mentioned. So I'm like, because I was thinking about getting to level 50. I'm like, hey, maybe I'll have a heads up on the next game. I don't think that's gonna work like that.
No, it's not. They're gonna try to sell. They're gonna sell you another game. You're gonna be back at level 1 again. Maybe have a couple of things that you remember from the last one. Not even all the cool weapons that you got from the last game. They're just gonna do like they.
There'll be some contrivance where all that shit gets taken away from you.
You know,
I'm thinking about Mass Effect 2. You know, when they take all that shit away from you. You know.
You know, Shinra is a giant magnet that steals all your good shit.
No, taking that away. Give me that materia back, man.
Okay, I gotta ask.
Yuffie comes back in and she steals all the material from
Yeah.
How many people have played the remake here?
Me and Carlos, and we've beaten it too.
I
Okay.
played it too.
Well, Adam, you played it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam,
Cool.
nice.
I'm
right,
in
so-
the town. Was it chapter 3, 4, whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're still super early then. Yeah.
Still, question can apply to him. Like, you've obviously run into stuff that wasn't in the original game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure even Adam. Do any of you genuinely believe that the additional content adds to the experience of the game? Do you think
Yes.
it adds to what Final Fantasy VII was?
Yeah, it does. I said this on the spoiler alert. Basically, and I can say this without spoiling it. I feel that a lot of things that were just hinted at are better manifested in this. Specifically, I'm talking about the train sequence. Like in the original one, you blew up the Mako reactor. I mean, I'll call it whatever what they're not calling it. You blew up the Mako reactor. You get on the train, you leave. Right. In this one, you actually get to see the consequences of your action. You see the people that you've hurt and possibly killed.
Yeah,
That's
talk
cool.
on the train
You know.
and stuff
And
like
then
that.
there's other little things like you questioning your motives and all that other stuff. A lot of character nuance that I feel that was not possible in the old one is now possible in this one, and I like that. It enhances the world, and I like hearing the conversations of the populace and stuff. It really makes you feel like the world, like basically with the shit you imagine is now actually there. It's tangible.
I love that.
You know,
I love that. But do you count that as content?
yes, it is content. That's not that I count it. It is content. You know.
Okay. Let me ask this: the things that they added to extend the hours of the game. does that add to the experience?
Yeah, because it's more shit to do. You get to live in that world longer. Like that Midgard section in the first game was so cool, but you're so out of there so fast. So it's cool to just linger there and really live in it. You know,
I felt it was that fast. I was like, "What? That can't be the end of the game."
Yeah, no, but
there's got to be more to this. Where's the airship?
But yeah, so
Right?
but no, I feel all the gameplay stuff they
That's in
added.
disc three.
It enhances it for me. It for sure. Like again, it makes you feel like you're actually living in that world now, which is really really cool.
There are a lot of levels that are. It's like in the previous game, it's like it took you like a couple of minutes to get through, and they're just sort of a whole level in this new game.
Yeah.
I think the one with the buses, Tony, the level with the buses.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
At night, spooky.
Yeah, the trains. Yeah.
The trains. Yeah,
the trains. Yeah, that was right. If you guys remember the train tracks, with the ghosts and all that shit, that's in there. But big, you know.
I thought it was way, and maybe it was probably because I was like way younger, but like I thought the original had like a much stronger ambiance of spookiness to it. Like it generally gave me like the willies.
Yeah. Oh no, for that section, yeah, I agree with that. It didn't scare me in this one, you know.
Well, I think the one thing about that section is also the fact that there's not a lot of save points in it, in that section of the game. So it almost made death feel a little bit more permanent. So there was a lot more going on to make you kind of fear the area.
Yeah, no, this one wasn't played up for fear at all. It was just really fun because you actually what's up?
Yo, Manny, would you say it's sort of like the Dark Souls of JRPGs?
Oh god.
I've never used that term before.
No, I was just making a joke.
But yeah, I again, I can't say any more without spoiling because this ain't like I said, I'm calling this a rebuild of Final Fantasy for a very specific reason. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
But I mean, I do agree, Brett, a little bit that they do extend, like some things are kind of stretched out. There's I don't know if you reached this part, but it's like a particular part where you're going back to Sector 7 slums. There's like mechanical arms.
Yeah, that puzzle, yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of extended. So they do add some stuff that is kind of.
Carlos, I'm sorry to cut you off. I appreciated that too because you get to spend more time with Eris. I'm on my show now. Fuck that. Eris. I like the fact that you get to spend 3 full chapters just you two. I'm like, that's cool. So you get to bond with her more. You do
get to spend quite a while in the original game with her.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, you do. But think about it. Like in this game, you're literally spending because in the original one, it's like
slums with her and getting to the wall market and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, you do that in this one too, but it's just longer now, which is cool.
Dude, you know there's gonna be some Red Wedding videos when the 3rd disc comes out.
Oh man.
Right, like people, you're gonna videotape anybody who has not played that game, played the game before. You're like, here it comes. You're gonna pull out your cell phone, you hit record.
Yeah, so, I wish Brett. Brett, when you get to the end, we gotta discuss, man. We gotta discuss, bruh.
Yo, I think, but yeah, Brett. I mean, the time. I mean, for me at least, the time flies, man. It took me 31 hours to complete the game, and shit, it barely felt like 30 hours. It felt like 15.
I thought it was like a 60-hour game.
Well, you can get 60 hours out of it. Like for me, it took me 39 hours to beat it, and I did everything. I did all the side shit,
Yeah, and Brett, I did same thing. I did the side quests like Tony did. It took me 32 hours.
But
so
there's, but after you beat the game, there's more shit that opens up that you could go back and, do and shit, more challenges and all that.
More dresses.
Yeah, more dresses. Gotta get all the dresses.
Fashion, Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Final Fashion. I'm not gonna say yes or no because that might be a spoiler.
Okay.
Fair. But just the only clue I'll give you is remember when that happened. That didn't happen in Midgard, so I'll just leave it at that. All right, so yeah, I guess we'll get 50 installments of this shit, just like Kingdom Hearts, because it's Nomura.
God, I hope it's not.
It's going to be Final Fantasy Asleep by Birth.
Final Fantasy 7.5, 7.5.5. Oh man. man.
Oh God! And Vincent's gonna get Vincent's gonna get his own game that's then gonna tie into the Final Fantasy.
Oh, you mean Dirge Cerberus?
Dirge Cerberus within the same game. It's gonna be
God.
Yeah, no. They'll basically re-release. They'll pull a Captain Marvel with it. Where like if you want to get the full Final Fantasy experience, because he's a main character now, not an optional character. His backstory is in this other game, so they're basically going to tie you into buying another game.
And Gact from Crisis Core is going to be finally put in as a main character.
Maybe.
Wait, which one was Gact?
Gact was in Crisis Core. He was the guy in red. He was that pop singer. You don't remember that guy?
The only guy in red I remember is Genesis.
Yeah, that's Gact, the pop singer, the J-pop singer. That guy that was like an extra.
I didn't play Crisis Core, so I don't know.
Crisis Core had this other guy in there, besides Zach, right?
Yeah.
And it was the other dude who was essentially based off of this pop singer.
I see what you're saying.
And,
yeah.
So he's gonna be acknowledged as a real character.
Yeah, it's Zach and Jill, Genesis and Sephiroth. Those are like the main ones.
Genesis is the pop singer. He even has a music video.
Man, that game is so freaking good, man. I wish they remade that game.
A lot of people really like that one. Crisis Core.
I feel like that's what they're gonna do, man. Like they could go full Marvel universe with this one.
Yeah, they can bring back all those characters, give everybody their own like tape
game before they finish 7.
Well, I didn't play Dirge Cerberus, but isn't that based on Genesis? Like, isn't Genesis part of that game?
No,
I've never played it.
In that one, it's just a shooter, and it connects directly to the Final Fantasy Advent Children movie.
Oh, okay.
I genuinely don't remember the story of that. I remember playing it. I just don't remember the story.
Dirge of Cerberus is not like. That's what it is.
Yeah, nobody likes that fucking game.
It was back in the days when Square tried to do other games and they sucked. Like, hey, look, we can make a shooter. No, you really can't do it.
Like, no, you can't. Stop it.
Hey, we're gonna make a fighting game. Oh no, you can't make a fighter. You can't make a fighter. Sorry.
We're gonna make a beat 'em up game.
We're gonna make a beat 'em up game, but it's a bouncer. Oh, you can't really do it.
Oh, by the way, speaking of, and I don't know. Oh, it's probably not a good segue.
Oh,
Not yet. Are we moving on?
Yeah, we're just gonna do games we've been playing lately, man.
Oh, okay. So, speaking of beat 'em up games, I just purchased Streets of Rage 4.
My man, you know. Yeah, let's do that segue right now, man. And this is gonna be me and Adam basically gushing for the next 10 minutes. Streets of Rage 4 is fucking out.
Maybe you should get the other people out of the way before you start going on.
But he said Streets of Rage 4. That was what I was thinking, but that Carlos fucked it all up. Anyway, yeah, now we'll do that. You know what? It's a tease. Manny, what have you been playing lately?
A tease.
I haven't actually been playing very much. I'm still not feeling 100%. I'm still sort of Bayonetta in a stasis field right now. But that's the next thing I want to get through.
Nice. Brian.
I've been playing a whole bunch of Elite Dangerous. Just the other week, I made it to 1 billion credits.
Oh, shit.
1 billion
I
credits!
don't know what that means, but congrats.
Who was that, Watto?
Yeah,
That's a lot of money. Well, a lot of credits. Basically, you start the game off with just 10,000, and that's it. So I went from 4 million last week to 1 billion this week. So yeah, Ryan knows how to make money. So yeah, so I'm just enjoying it now. Like I can buy anything I want, outfit anything I want. So I'm just enjoying the experience. So yeah, that's it.
That's what's up. Brett, what have you been playing lately?
I have been flip-flopping between Animal Crossing and Final Fantasy. Nia's kind of on hold right now. Put on the back burner. Just because I just don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to really be getting much into anything. I visit my Animal Crossing village every few days, tool around on that when I'm just feeling like piddling away time. And when I actually feel like I have the mental energy and want somewhat of a challenge, I play Final Fantasy VII. But I'll be honest, man. I know these are probably fighting words. I'm going to get some sort of shit about Cuphead somehow about this, but is there a harder version of Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah.
combat-wise.
You're going to get annoyed by this. You have to unlock hard mode by beating the game.
Why?
Because
I'm bored as shit in the battles right now. The only time I actually genuinely, and like I'm enjoying the story, but like the only time where I've actually genuinely engaged with the battle was like the motorcycle battle where the guy, fucking what's his name?
He was a new character, right?
I think I don't know, but I know who you're talking about, the speed demon dude.
Yeah, he was in the old game. Like he's running around like cackling. I'm cackling right back like, yeah, man, let's fucking do this. I'm bored with all these fucking bullshit machines and foot soldiers. So like, yeah, I enjoy the big, more brutal fights, but again, it's not really hard.
Look at this dude flexing over here, man.
No, it's just, I don't know, man. Maybe, because it's just, there's either these bullshit attacks that inevitably you're going to take damage. That's the way the game is designed. You are not going to be able to dodge out of damage. Just like the original game, you're going to take some damage, you're going to deal some damage, and finding a way to kind of balance those two in your favor is the key to the game. And I do like the way that if you use your abilities a lot, because your gauge just feels like stupid fast.
Yeah.
So pretty much you end up doing this weird kind of like jumping between characters, everything's happening in slow motion kind of thing, which is cool. It's very cinematic and it's neat, but man, it's either the attacks are ridiculous easily to dodge because they literally telegraph them at the top of the screen like slam punch. You're like, oh, I wonder if he's gonna punch the ground. Back off. Or it's okay. This does. It's not even flexing. They just die so fast, Tony. Everything just dies so fast. Like I don't have a chance to start like a whirling cyclone of death, and then like I get like a little bit into whirling cyclone, and then they're fucking dead. And the next guy's like 10 feet away, and so I just fucking start over again. Like
I give you props, man.
I want to be able to do like crazy chain combos. Like I love like running in. Like I'll be fighting a guy and then I'll do a triple slash, killing two guys, and then be 3 feet away, 10 feet away from a guy, and then fucking like cast fireball, knock him into the air, and then as he's coming down, do like a thrust dodge, like knock him as he's coming down, stagger him, and fling him halfway across the room, and then boom, you're on top of him, doing 106% damage, and he's fucking boom, dead like that. It's fun. It really is. Let me juggle people with a little bit more health, man. Though. Like,
yeah, I know you'll get some enemies with more health, but again, that's that Dark Souls training coming in you because, and I've said this before, this is the opposite. This is the hardest Final Fantasy I've ever played. I've never used so many Phoenix Downs in my life. Like I've used more Phoenix Downs in this game than I have in every Final Fantasy game I've ever played combined. Like after every battle, I have to use heal on everybody. I'm looking for those. I'm looking for the benches. I'm like I ran out of MP. Fuck, because I'm healing all the fucking time. I'm dying left and right and shit. Like this game is fucking brutal, man.
In the later levels, because I'm on chapter 8 and I just used my first one.
Yeah, no, like I said, like you, it's just your skills, bro. I knew this game was gonna be hard when the first spider robot almost fucked me. Like, oh, this game is no fucking joke. Yeah, that thing almost wrecked my shit, bro.
That was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, Adam knows what's up. It's like
I didn't know that my guy wasn't revving up, whatever they want to call it, for him to use his special unless I'm in control of him.
Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah,
I'm thinking that Barrack is charging up, and then when I go to him, he still hasn't done shit.
But I will say this one. I'm sorry, but this is why I like the game. Since it was so difficult, combat wise for me, it forced me to be strategic, and that's when it started clicking for me. Like, okay, Tony, you can't just act like this is dark, like this is Devil May Cry. Just treat this like an RPG, and that's when shit started clicking for me. Like the difficulty of this game forced me to be strategic, which is what I feared the game wouldn't be. I feared it would just be a button masher. It is not. You have to be very strategic. At least for me, if you're going to keep people alive, you have to constantly keep switching back and forth, healing and shit, attacking when you can, backing off when you have to, and shit, keeping everybody alive. So for me, it's very strategic, just because of how fucking hard it is. Like I'm not even going to attempt that hard difficulty. This shit's hard enough as it is. For me at least.
Yeah, and the regular enemies are pretty easy, but a lot of the bosses are the harder.
The bosses are the crazy ones, but no, even later on in the game, like some of those regular enemies will fuck your shit up, because they love canceling, your fucking attacks,
Oh, good.
Especially The ones that get a little bit annoying are the flying ones.
Oh, they're always annoying. You know.
You just fucking knocked them out of the ground, out of the air, man.
Yeah, but if you jump in the air and they swing away from you, and then they start peppering you with shit, you can't really do anything unless you're buried and you just, you know.
Nah, man. No, you just save up 2 bars, click fireball, and as they drop to the ground, you do a heavy stagger move on them, break them, it'll stagger them, and they'll just lay there and take it like a bitch.
Yeah, if you get that fire out, because usually when you're doing those like big spells, they love to knock you out of that shit. It happens to me all the fucking time. That's why I always do medium spells. They always knock. Every time I try to do a special move, they always knock me out of this shit. Every time, consistently.
You like the big end fire, like the 3rd level fire spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you don't get to cast those. Just cast the normal ones and have jacked up NP, so those things crank the damage. You're not there. You're there to use it to like stagger. Like you don't need to do a giant explosion. Just boom, knock them down, fucking stagger them out. I don't know. Again, looking forward to hitting some harder enemies because, god damn it, did anybody else have this problem? The characters, everybody else in the party will not fill their ATB gauge.
Yeah, no, you have to constantly
before the fight is over.
Yeah, no, you have to switch
you guys
them.
didn't even get enough shit to get one thing up.
Well, you need to keep using them not only for their ATB, for their limit breaks.
The limit breaks, yeah, because if they're not fighting, they're not gonna have limit breaks, you know.
Well, again, who cares? This game is Clouds and Friends, or Cloud and Friends. That's the way I play it at first. Like, Cloud gets the best gear, he gets the best equipment, he just whoops everybody else. Everybody just kind of rides his coattails. Same with this one. Like, I should play some of the other characters. They're really fun, but for most of the part, I'm just like,
Yeah, no, but but again, to me at least, the game forced me to switch characters. If I stay with Cloud, Cloud would die in seconds. I'm like, oh shit, switch to somebody else right now, man, because Cloud was always taking fucking damage.
Maybe that's because I stack Cloud as a magic dealer, or magic damage dealer.
Yeah, no,
so I have all his sword thing, but I have like a lot of ranged attacks too. So maybe I don't know, man. That first robot, like I made him my bitch. I pulled my pocket inside out. He started holding it. We just walked.
Damn, man. See, I went in there going, yo, I fucked you up in the original game, son. Let's do this. Yo, whoo, man, I beat him in the first try. Don't get me wrong, but he almost rocked my foot. Like I was limping after that fight. I'm like, okay, this game is no fucking joke, you know. And after that, just kept punishing me, man. You're going to see some harder enemies. Don't worry about that, you know?
Yes, good. Yeah, because I'm only like chapter 8, 9, something like that.
You'll see some better ones. Anything else, man?
No.
All right.
No, that's it.
Carlos.
I beat Final Fantasy VII last weekend, I think.
Last weekend? Yeah, it was last weekend because I remember you beat it the day we did the spoiler alert.
Yeah, so I did that and I got back into Yakuza 0 because I haven't beaten that actually.
Oh, yes. One of the best games of this generation. I love me some Yakuza 0. That game's fucking amazing.
I love that game, but I never finished it because I think Horizon Zero Dawn came out and I'm like, oh shit. And then I went to that. That game, man, that game is so fucking good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So that's all I've been playing. I'm probably gonna play Streets of Rage this weekend.
And
yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. All right, let's see. Because I've been playing other shit too besides Streets of Rage before Streets of Rage came out. Just forgetting at the moment. Oh yeah, I talked about this Treachery and Beatdown. Adam played it too. Cool game, you know.
That was a good one. It was good.
Yeah, let's talk about Streets of Rage, man. So you guys already know. Like, I've been waiting for this. A lot of us have been waiting for this for years, especially when they announced it. 2018, I believe it is. And it is the sequel we all wanted with Streets of Rage. It has that feel to it, man. That impactful feel and shit. And this is, the way I say it, this is like on Sonic Mania level. Like, this is the shit we've been waiting for. You could tell, just like Sonic Mania, this was made by fucking fans. I'd love them some Streets of Rage, you know? Like, I understand why it took so long because they put a lot of work into it. Like, the graphics are crazy, the animations are dope, the hits are impactful, and there's so many... Yeah. Yeah, it's like the content, so much content in this shit, you know? It's nuts, man. So, Adam, what are your thoughts on it? Because I think you just recently started yesterday, right?
Yeah. It started yesterday, and I was just blown away. Because I knew it was going to be decent. I was like, all right, well, this is going to be all right. And it's just the audio, the music that they put in there. It's on point with the scenes. It still has that feel from the soundtrack from Streets of Rage 2, and you can unlock those tracks.
Yes.
A lot of those tracks, and 3 and 1, a lot of the tracks are in there that you can unlock. But just the combos and the enemy types and how every mission has its own theme and beautiful backdrops, and or like we were talking about with the precinct, and you're fighting the cops, and there's ones with the riot shields, and there's a taser, and then there's the hidden arcade machines, and you shock the arcade machine and you get thrown back into the 16-bit version. It's just nuts.
Yeah. Yo, by the way, that fucking police precinct level, I posted a picture. There's fucking police brutality going on. The cops are fucking up the thugs and shit.
The thugs, and then it's funny because the gate opens up, the cell, and then the guys come out and they attack you, and then the cops are fighting you and the thugs. So they'll still turn around and start fighting the thugs and stuff, so you can back up and just let them handle each other out.
Yeah, yo, I want to talk about the fighting system because, like, obviously one of the things about the hallmarks of Street Rage is the combos and stuff. But in this one, they took it to a whole other level. This feels like a fighting game, with the combos you could do. And it's like you could kind of make up your own combos as on the fly and shit. And rack up numbers. And if you're playing with somebody else, just rack up them fucking numbers, What
was funny is one of the bosses actually has your finisher, your special move from Streets Rage 1. Remember,
yes, the cop cars. Yeah.
And then I was like calling for backup. I'm like, who's calling back? And next year I see the cutscene and I see the car show up. I'm like, oh shit, she's using it on me.
Yeah. Yo, what's cool is if you use one of the Streets of Rage 1 characters, because you can't do that in the game, when you do their special, you see the cop car show up. It still happens, Yo, again, it's a huge love letter, man. This is exactly the game we wanted, man.
So much content. And that's the thing. It's like, let's say if you never played any of the other ones, this is the best one to jump in.
Yeah.
And it's a new experience. And for those who have played all the other ones, this is what we want.
Yeah.
We don't want all these, like, was it Double Dragon Neon and shit like that. We want something like this.
Yeah, man.
We want something that's packed with everything, that's done properly, that continues the story. Like I said before, Capcom needs to look at this and say, wow, maybe we should do this with Final Fight.
Oh,
maybe we should go
man.
down this road with Final Fight. Bring that one back. Because everybody loves Final Fight. Bring that in with a twist. Put in the story that you sort of combined with Street Fighter with Cody, where he went to jail.
Yeah, yeah.
Bring him out with this
Yo
and the chain of ball, and coming out of jail, do that whole thing, and his his father-in-law is the mayor. You know what I mean? It's like, do that.
Yeah,
they can do it.
Oh, they can. Although I'm going to answer Barry real quick, and I got something to say about that. He goes, Yuzo Koshiro soundtrack. No, but he does contribute tracks to this.
Yeah, he contributes to it.
He does.
And they definitely had that feel.
Yes, man. You could tell. They did such a great job with the soundtrack. Like, there's so many different musical styles, but they all fit well together. The other thing about, Streets of Rage original, like, the music, man, it was all about that fucking music. The music stood out, And fighting games and brawlers, you need good music. That's the shit that gets you fucking amped,
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of those. Some of them, this build up, it gets quiet,
yeah, man.
And it's like boom, 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 boom. You're like, well, what? I'm in the club. Oh shit! I remember when I was playing with Rich, I said, "Hold on, you go fight," and I started moving my guy like I was dancing. I'm like, oh.
But I was thinking about this, right? Like, okay, had this game come out when it originally would have come out in the late 90s, what would it have been, right? It would have been some 3D bullshit. There's a game that came out, I'm forgetting the name of it, but it was originally going to be Streets of Rage 4, right? So I'm glad that this game came out during a time, and this is also speaking for last generation, where we appreciate the old classic games and we want to preserve it. Sonic Mania, we wouldn't have gotten a Sonic Mania if people weren't going, I want the old shit back, So I'm glad that now we're in that era, because remember, like, Manny, you and I talked about how gaming took a turn. It's like we were going in this highly polished 2D sprite direction. Polygons came and just changed everything, So yep. Streets of Rage 4 looks the way we thought games were going to look,
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it felt like the general evolution of it all, but it all sort of got stunted because, obviously, because the new hotness was polygons. So, PlayStation themselves even sort of rejected a bunch of Japanese games that were like those sort of nth level 2D games.
That's right.
Because they weren't using polygons.
Yeah. So yeah, it's funny. It's like, again, like this game, like that's what I envisioned in my head that gaming would eventually look like. You know, that I thought like, oh, in the '90s, every game's gonna look like it. No, different nursing. So
I
again,
mean,
yeah,
it's kind of like how Street Fighter. I know you don't like Street Fighter 3 so much, but that always felt like the general evolution of what a fighting
yes.
game would be.
Just quick thing. Yeah, Manny's right. I don't like Street Fighter 3 as a game. Graphically, fucking amazing. Till this day, that game looks fucking dope. You know, and we thought that's where games were gonna go, kind of. Even though actually Street Fighter 3 came out when polygons were already becoming a thing. So that was a little bit of a like, hey, this is what could have been. You know. Mm-hmm. Oh man, but Streets of Rage 4 is so fucking good, man.
It's so cool, and that's the thing. It has that throwback feel, but it doesn't.
But it feels new, though. You know,
that's the thing. It feels new. So even if somebody fresh eyes never played any of the other ones, looks in, it's like, I don't think they're gonna say, "Wow, this is some kind of old game." No, they're gonna be like, "This looks crazy. It looks new. It has." The sprites have like this oomph to them.
Yes, man.
All the characters oomph, and yes, one of them does look like Jax with his arm, but still, they all have something, and every level throws something new at you. So it's not a rehash of the same guys and new backdrops. No, there's always something new. It keeps you going. There is a story with it. If you want to listen to and link to the story, go with it. You can do that. If not, just have fun with the music and the gameplay.
Yeah, I remember when my first playthrough with my friend Jeffrey, we played the whole game in 2 hours one night. Right, we skipped all the cutscenes. We're like, nah, let's just play. Now I'm gone back. I'm playing them and stuff. But that's what's cool about it. It's like you could have fun with it either way. And I want to say this: I love beat 'em ups. That's one of my favorite genres from back in the day. Right, but even I'll be the first to admit, like some of that shit could get mad, boring, and repetitive. This game never does. Not a single second. It's always something new. It's always something, even if it's like enemies with different sprites and stuff, there's always something in every screen that's different than the last. I'm like, okay, they definitely took, like, they were very precise with the things they want to do with this game, and it shows, and I hope, like you said, like, I hope it kind of, even though I realize we've still have gotten beat 'em ups even this generation, but I hope this has a little bit of a revival. And like you said, Capcom, just saying.
Watch it. But then let's talk about not even just the content there, but all the other modes. They added a boss battle mode. They added an arcade mode. You know what I mean? They added a versus mode where you sort of have your own version.
Yeah, that's right.
Characters. I mean, all these modes, pretty much all of them, you have to unlock by beating the story. But still, those modes are there. That's awesome. So if you just want to be like, oh, remember that one boss you're trying to explain to somebody, this whole thing, just load it up and play it. That's it. If you want to do a one-on-one versus one of the other characters, do that too. You could do a 2-player online, 4-player co-op. Right now, not many people doing the co-op thing local, but yeah, you could play with someone online. Unless if you're on the PS4, I did have some issues with that, but besides that, it was great.
Yeah, no, that's I guess that's the only thing I have to complain about. It's like that you can't do 4-player online co-op. You can only do 2-player online co-op. How dope would that have been? 4 players online just fucking wailing each other.
It would have been crazy. Now you played the arcade mode. What's that like?
Okay, arcade mode is basically the main game, the regular story mode. Only you get one life to go through the whole game.
Oh, forget that. So I thought when I heard arcade mode, I thought of like the way Capcom does their beat 'em up. Their collections where it's like you just keep pressing the enter coin button.
Yeah, no. You get one continue and that's it.
Because that's the thing, people. When you play this game, you get your 3 lives, and if you die, you start the chapter over.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I just keep pressing and I keep getting another quarter and I'll just keep going through or continue. It doesn't work that way. So there's a challenge to it. It's like, hey, you want to do it, and if you beat that level, then you'll get those lives back. So.
Yeah, but no, that's what arcade mode is.
One life? That's crazy.
That's for the hardcore dudes, And there's, by the way, Adam, there's a trophy for beating that on hard mode. Or it's like, yo, these dudes are crazy, man.
See, now that's something I'll watch on Twitch. If somebody can do that type of playthrough, I'll watch.
Oh, Adam, here's the thing. There's also a trophy. I'm gonna fuck you up right now. There's a trophy for not taking damage, right? So imagine doing that on the hardest difficulty in arcade mode, bruh.
I definitely want to see that. I want to see who does this shit.
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
But like that, it's tons of content. It's fun. It's got everything. So and it's at a cheap. We talked about this before. So the game launched today. Well, no, it's tomorrow, but the 30th, and it was for $24.99. But on launch, it was reduced everywhere for $22. and besides Microsoft, which is on Game Pass, but for Switch, Steam, PlayStation, that's very odd because usually they'll have a deal for the pre-orders, right? I can understand $22, take $2 whatever off, but then it's launch day. Now we're back 24. It's not. It went reverse. So who knows? But it's a great deal. It's a great value. Everybody should have it.
Yeah, man. And I told you this. I said this on Twitter. I told you guys this. Basically, you guys know I don't have to really buy games anymore because I get upset ultimately. They send me this game too, but I still bought the shit. I bought it on PlayStation 4, Switch, Xbox because I want to support this shit. I've been waiting for this. I'm putting my money where. I did the same thing with Sonic Mania. They sent me a free code. I still bought the game on every platform. Show my love.
The PlayStation 4 one, I still got the PC one. And
That's
got
it.
The Switch version because I knew it. I was like, this is it. This is a game you want to play everywhere.
Yeah, and I even went to limited run and I bought the Sega Genesis case version. Oh man!
And then I went to that website. I canceled that order, and then I put my information so that now it's coming to me.
He stole my shit, man.
I had to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go over there and hit you with a chicken or something, man. Yo, by the way, did you notice you could actually change the food?
No.
Okay, so if you go into the options, standard is a apple and a chicken, right? A roast chicken. But you could change it to like a pizza, some fucking tofu and shit. It's crazy. Some rice balls and shit.
I saw the kangaroo.
Yeah, the kangaroo. He was a bartender. He was a fucking bartender. Oh, yo, in the sewer level, you see the Shinobi in the background, man. Like in one of the pipes, like somebody did a graffiti of the Shinobi. Like, yo, imagine if we get Revenge of Shinobi and shit like this.
Man, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that this becomes the new style, the new trend. It becomes a success. And I was like, what, people like this? Let's bring all our older IPs back like this. Not just rehashing them. Or
like a sequel. Yeah.
Yeah, just fully done up. With all the bells and whistles, this feels complete.
It really does.
This game, you feel like you have everything that you could possibly want from this.
That's so good, man. So good.
It's worth it. It's great. It's a great buy.
Definitely, man. All right, man. Again, just circling back here. If you want to hear more Streets of Rage stuff, we got some podcasts for you to listen to. The first one is the ARG podcast, episode 205. That has me, Chris, and David Giltonen over on the ARG podcast, and we're talking about the whole franchise of Streets of Rage. We're basically just gushing about the franchise. A little bit of talk about 4, but not a lot. And then there's also the latest episode of Gamer Tag Radio, where Danny Pena and I talk extensively about Streets of Rage 4. So go check those out and have a good time, man. It's a good time to be a gamer. The world sucks right now, but it's a lot of good games dropping. So that's great, and that's going to do it for us, people. So thank you for watching and listening. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco, and tonight joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you later, guys.
Adam Vale.
Yeah, have a safe and great weekend, people.
Carlos Romero.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Brett Murdoch.
It's been real, party people.
And Brian Monjoma.
I love the part of Last of Us 2 when Ellie's dad.
Hold on, let Brian finish the joke, man.
Yeah, I like the part of Last of Us 2 when we are revealed that Ellie is in fact Ellie's father the whole time. And she screams out no and gets her hand cut off.
Oh, man. All right, man. We'll see you on Sunday. Peace out.
Later, guys.
See ya.